2 years, Green Bay's Brett Favre, all on a day, honoring Packer Hall of Fame stars. Their presence a reminder of an abundantly rich football heritage, a link to Green Bay glory years of the 1960s. We're among the green and gold of Green Bay as the 2-0 Miami Dolphins meet the Super Bowl champion Packers. Hello, everyone. Miami is here 2-0. Marino is yet to throw a touchdown pass.
Well, Dan Marino, he's the man today. He's going to have to play tough and make some big plays for the Miami Dolphins. Last week against the Tennessee Oilers, a blitzing team, a lot like the Green Bay Packers. They put the hits on him, but he still completed the passes, and he was the main reason they won that football game. The Packers, very aggressive on both sides of the ball. The defense is aggressive, but the Dolphins believe if Marino hangs in there, they got a chance to go down the field and make some big plays.
Well, Green Bay off a surprising loss in Philadelphia. Their mystique bruised a bit a week ago.
Green Bay Packers found out losing stinks. You know, up until last week, they hadn't lost a game in 10 months. Talked to Reggie White yesterday. He says, you know, we've been taking ourselves too serious. He said, we've got to have fun. We've got to go out today and have some fun. We'll win the football game.
Well, Reggie White's the Minister of Defense, and just moments ago offered his pregame sermon.
When you catch touchdowns and stuff, jump in the stands, have fun. Defense, let's have fun. Let's get turnovers. Go on, do your thing. Let's have some fun today. That's what's
Hey, keep the crowd pumped up.
Yeah, let's keep the crowd pumped up. Dominate. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
High school football season.
Domination.
Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where the Packers have dominated their opponents, including the playoffs, 19 straight victories. Mike Holmgren leading his team to a very impressive Super Bowl year a season ago, and bitten by defeat a week ago in Philadelphia. They had every chance to win, missed a short field goal at the end. On the other hand, Jimmy Johnson's Dolphins won on a missed field goal against the Tennessee Oilers a week ago, and his team, despite the fact they'd not scored much, is 2-0. We're underway as Green Bay's Longwell sends it to the other end. Kadri Ismail, a former Packer, has some running room, and he's all the way out to the 38, but flags fly. 36 yards on the return, but referee is Mike Carey.
On the return, holding by the receiving team, number 26. 10 yards, first down.
Bracy Walker, the former Bengal, ticketed with a penalty. And here comes Dan Marino. His 200th regular season start for this great star out of the University of Pittsburgh. And here are the men who will be protecting him today. That solid left side of the line, Pro Bowlers Richmond Webb and Keith Sims. Tim Ruddy, maybe their best player offensively on the line, but has an ankle injury. McIver and Brown on the right side. The wideouts are McDuffie and Barnett, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Dwayne Dotson in the backfield, and the tight end is Troy Drayton. Abdul-Jabbar breaks a couple of tackles and then is smothered at the 22-yard line, a gain of 3. Reggie White led the charge. And here are the Packers defensively with Reggie White, 11 consecutive Pro Bowls. Dotson, Brown, who's a run stuffer, Gabe Wilkins. Linebackers are Simmons, Harris, and Williams. At the corners, Doug Evans and Ty Williams replacing the injured Craig Newsome. Leroy Butler and Eugene Robinson, two very talented safeties for Green Bay. 2nd down and 7. 60,000, and this is about as enthusiastic an early season audience as you could play to. Marino stays in there, and their umpire broke it up. The umpire, Neil Garib, breaks up that attempted pass. Oh my.
Sometimes those short passes over the middle, the umpire does get in the way. Dan Marino's in a little trouble, and the one thing he does very well, when he's in trouble, he looks for that quick receiver short. But this time the umpire's in the way, and watch Dan. He will yell at anybody, so the umpire, he's going to get it too.
Yeah, but does he get credit for knocking one down?
Or look at the halftime stats. 3rd down and 7. Out of the shotgun. Good protection, the throw, and complete to Jarris McPhail. McPhail, who has been injured, returns to the lineup. He's got great speed and a first down on the 11-yard play. Wayne Simmons made the tackle.
But when you look at this game today, for Miami's offense, they really do not match up well physically against Green Bay's defense. So what you got to do, you're running in there to keep them honest, and you got to make some big plays in the passing game. That's what I think the only chance you have to beat this Green Bay defense.
Well, Fritz Sherman, the defensive coordinator of Green Bay, told us it's very simple. Just don't let them make the big play, because we don't think that there's anybody can sustain a long drive against this talented defense that they have.
From the 33, first down. And it's Abdul-Jabbar. Nothing there. Brian Williams. And then Reggie White to assist. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Dick. Well, Jimmy Johnson was very concerned with the first quarter today because he feels if his team falls behind, they will not be able to play catch up. He feels as though they must come out and establish themselves immediately and not be putting themselves where they are going to have to catch up. Also, as Phil Simms just alluded to, he says physically we really don't match up very well, so we have to do some things offensively to try and keep them off balance. Dick?
And as you can see, thanks, Jim, Jimmy Johnson's teams have not scored but one time on the opening drive in the last 18 games. Second and long. Out of the backfield, incomplete as Bernardo Harris rides down tight end Troy Drayton.
I'm going to tell you one thing, that was excellent pass protection. Marino had time.
Well, the one thing this Miami offense can do, and Jimmy Johnson told us, they can protect the passer. But look at Green Bay. They are so aggressive, not only with their defensive line, but their defensive backs. They challenge every receiver on every single throw. That time, Paul blitzed, everybody covered down the field.
And Bernardo Harris, in his third year from North Carolina, makes a fine defensive play as he ripped it away from Troy Drayton. Third and 12. Incomplete. McPhail was the nearest target. And Jimmy Johnson's Dolphins get one first down, and now it'll be Brett Favre with his opportunity.
You know, the one thing about this defense of Green Bay, and you're going to see this all afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that their linebackers will pop you.
And they can run. And that time, Paul, three guys rushing the passer. Marino has to get rid of it too quick.
John Kidd, who just kicked once a week ago, 45 yards, will punt it to Bill Schrader. Schrader, who has taken Desmond Howard's spot from Wisconsin Lacrosse, is Schrader. A wobbly short kick. Schrader at the 32. Fumble the ball, and it's picked up by the Dolphins, I believe, unless they fumbled it back. No signal yet. First down, Miami. 36-yard punt, 4-yard return by Schrader, and then the fumble. And the Dolphins get the first break of the game at the Packer 36 as Dwayne Dotson made the hit and forced the fumble.
Good hustle by the Dolphins. They make Schrader go back inside. Pursuit hits him. He wasn't expecting it, and Bracy Walker on the spot picks up the ball.
I mean, this is when you're trying to make something happen. Just go field. But he actually lost this ball before he got hit. There was an arm that came in from Dotson, knocked the ball down, and they're right on top of it. Walker makes the recovery. First down.
So break from Marino and Miami at the Packer 36. He sends both wide receivers left, tight end Drayton to the right. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar earns a tough 4. Tackled by Bernardo Harris. Jimmy Johnson told us yesterday, he preached turnover, turnover, turnover. Plus 12 last season. Love that. It's the first positive season since 1984. He says it's simple, the math. If you're a +1 against your opponent, you win 80% of the time. If you're +2 in a game, you have no excuse but to win.
But Dick, he failed to mention the team that usually wins the turnover battle is the one that's knocking the heck out of the other team. And that's one thing his team did last year. They were physical, and that's one of the reasons why they won the turnover battle.
And a first down yardage for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar before linebacker Brian Williams can make the stop. 8 yards on the play.
If the Miami Dolphins are going to win this football game, this is what they're going to have to do. They come out here the Sims and Webb side, and the blocking is outstanding. Just watch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar cut back inside. He sees his blockers, picks up the first down. They're not going to win this game throwing the football.
Well, that's a good job by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Just if you see a little daylight, take it right away. The play was designed to go outside. He saw a crease inside. took it right away, got some good positive yards.
Bernie Parmalee in for Dotson, joins Abdul-Jabbar. First down. Marino, lots of time, throws complete to the tight end, and Troy Drayton is out of bounds with a first down inside the 12-yard line. 13 yards on the play.
I'm going to tell you what, when there's a throwing down, they're going to take O.J. McDuffie out of the play because they just nailed him. He comes across the field, and the linebacker just nails him. This is a great pass by Marino and an excellent catch by Drayton. But when you see O.J. McDuffie come across, he is eliminated from this play.
Drayton's third reception of the season. He's been begging for more opportunities. Noise is deafening. Abdul-Jabbar with a blocker. Gets inside the 10, but barely. Good pursuit as Leroy Butler came up from the secondary to help out on the tackle.
Butler made the tackle on Abdul-Jabbar.
Marino in the red zone, 2 for 13 thus far this year, and only 11 yards passing and a 39.6 rating, third worst in the league, as Miami's had trouble scoring touchdowns in that red zone.
Well, Dick, it tells me too the defenses are just not taking the running game real serious with the Dolphins, so they're playing pass and they're stopping it.
And they're looking pass here. But they get run, and Abdul-Jabbar runs into his own blocker, cuts it inside, and a flag down as Abdul-Jabbar moves near the 3. Bernardo Harris and Brian Williams with a tackle.
I'll tell you, Wayne Simmons, number 59, he's the guy that stuffed this, that forced Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the inside. And down on the field is Troy Drayton. He took him back.
Drayton gets up limping, and the penalty against Miami.
I'm sorry, Dick, that's my fault. It's Keith Sims.
Number 89, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Ed Perry, the rookie from James Madison at tight end, guilty of the hold. Perry, a 6th-round draft pick. And
well, one of the reasons you get a holding call, there's Ed Perry, number 89. He's expecting this run to go outside, gets his hands outside the body. Really does a pretty good job of pushing the defender where he wants him to go, but he got those arms outside the body. The referee, he'll see that every single time.
Second down and 17. Fritz Shurmur, the defensive coordinator of the Packers. Little confusion as Parmalee started to wing out, and then maybe Marino changed plays, go the other way. Abdul-Jabbar, and a flag down, delay of game against Miami. And that little adjustment made by Marino. Another 5-yard penalty.
Well, you know now why they're not productive in the red zone. You're going the wrong way. Well, I'll tell you one thing that you see when you sit up here where we are, and some of the officials miss it, is the holding penalties in an offensive line. I mean, they are just grabbing the Green Bay Packers by the shoulder pads.
Irving Spikes makes his first appearance at running back, joining Parmalee. Ball out to the 24-yard line, where it is 2nd and 24. It was 2nd and 7, remember, at the 9-yard line. Drayton is hit hard by Leroy Butler at the 6-yard line. He's shy of the first down by about 4. So Marino going to the big tight end target.
Good game planning by the Dolphins. You're going to see the running back on the flat. But watch Troy Drayton go up in the seam. No defender. It's not man-to-man coverage. And Dan Marino throws the ball before the safety can get there. They put Tyrone Williams, number 37. Who do you cover? Whoever he covered, they throw to the other guy.
For credit Butler, though, with that solid tackle. That would have been a touchdown. Marino has never gone 3 games without a touchdown pass consecutively. 3rd and 4. Oh, almost threw it right to Mike Pryor. Pryor off his fingertips, incomplete. There were no Dolphins in the area.
Well, O.J. McDuffie is complaining that he was held trying to come across the middle. And Marino is looking for O.J. McDuffie. He is his favorite target. And you're going to see right about now, you'll see O.J. McDuffie. You see him standing there. He was the guy that's supposed to come in, and he doesn't get there. They don't allow him inside.
So on comes the field goal unit. Fritz Shurmur thought he had the pick. And Olindo Mari from Syracuse. Who? Omari. Oh my, 3-0 with 7:54 remaining in the first quarter. Schrader's fumble turned into 3 for Miami and the early lead.
Interception. Watch O.J. McDuffie, number 81. He's going to go up the field. Leroy Butler holds him. Wayne Simmons, boom, knocks him out of the play. Almost makes Dan Marino. He panics, which a quarterback would. Almost throws it in the hands of the defenders.
Illegal chuck.
Illegal hit, chuck, everything.
Mare delivers one halfway into the end zone. Aaron Hayden takes a knee, and the touchback at the 20-yard line. Well, the fumble by Schrader means that Green Bay has not had the ball for more than 7 minutes. Offensive line, 2 changes today. Frank Winters, the center, is out, and Dellenbach, the former Dolphin, is the starting center. And Earl Dotson, also injured at right tackle, and he is replaced today. Favre with Dorsey Levens and William Henderson. Brooks and Freeman are the wideouts, and the tight end Mark Chimura back from that injury in the Chicago game. Levens with a carry and a gain of nearly 3. Zach Thomas and Sean Wooden made the stop for Miami, and here are the Dolphins defensively. Very young. Only Armstrong is 30 years of age. He's at the defensive left tackle. Bowens, Gardner, Taylor. All the linebackers are rookies or first-year men. Harris, Thomas, and Rogers. Buckley and Jackson are at the corners, and Sean Wooden and Corey Harris, the former Seahawk, at safety. Second down, 7. Henderson for 2 to the 25. It is 3rd down and 5 here in Green Bay, where Miami leads 3-0. Let's go to New York.
That I covered him better than that.
You would have. You'd have grabbed him right by something.
He's taking shots from New York at me.
Yep. Well, it's safer that way. 3rd and 5. Favre's first throw into the flat, and not good enough for the first down as Terrell Buckley came up to deny Robert Brooks.
That is, sorry, Dick, that's just a good illustration of the Miami defense. They play soft. They want you to throw the ball underneath and let their speed and their athletic ability make the play. Terrell Buckley, great reaction, stops it short of a first down.
And let's underline this right now. Jimmy Johnson, for all you've read and heard about the fact he's trying to rebuild a Dallas-type defense, fast, speed, small maybe, but really can run to the ball. That's what he's trying to do in Miami, and he's doing it.
You know, you read something you can actually believe. You know, it's the truth.
The punt by Craig Hendrick. Deep is Charles Jordan, former Raider, at the 30. A running start. 40. Down the sideline, stepped out of bounds, back. Oh, they didn't call it at the 45, and they give him all the way to the Green Bay 48-yard line. Charles Jordan, 23-yard return. It's 3-0 Dolphins. Charles Jordan had stepped out of bounds. Look at this clever footwork. Talk about a tightrope walker. Pretty good.
Well, it's total awareness of where you are on the field. I mean, that just shows experience.
And athletic ability.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it.
Helps.
First down, Miami at the Packer 48 on the 24-yard return by Jordan. 3-0 Dolphins. 5:56 left in the opening quarter. Good protection. Marino to the side. Good running by O.J. McDuffie, and he has a first down, a gain of 11.
Well, we talked to Dan Marino yesterday, and he said, my arm feels great, and you can believe after this throw.
Well, but look at the blocking line. Gilbert Brown, they're putting 2 people on him ready. They're blocking Garden Center. And look at the time he has. And he waits and waits because O.J. McDuffie was not his primary target.
No, he was not. But look, all the way from one hash to the other sideline, on a line, the perfect place where his receiver could catch it.
Marino 4 for 8, 53 yards. First down at the 37. To the near side, out of bounds is McDuffie, incomplete.
Good idea by Dan Marino. O.J. McDuffie, he read the right thing to do, but Dan Marino just doesn't throw the ball exactly where he wants it. Tyrone Williams, number 37, the defender, loses sight of the quarterback and where the ball is. Didn't really have a chance to react to it.
That's one of those plays where you throw behind the defender and behind the receiver and let the receiver adjust.
Dan's the one that started that in the National Football League. I can remember watching films back in 1984, and that was the first time I saw a quarterback actually throw it behind the receiver on purpose.
Throw it light behind, let the defender run by, and the receiver turns and makes the catch.
That's right.
Underneath, incomplete. Intended for Brian Manning, the rookie from Stanford. Doug Evans on the coverage. Well, there are the numbers, and they should be in gold. First and first. The all-time passer in NFL history, and every attempt, every completion adding to his numbers. No question where he's headed after his retirement, right on the freeway to Canton, Ohio.
They may waive the waiting limit on him.
Yeah, give him a Mario Lemieux.
That's right.
3rd down and 10. They show blitz, and here they come. Butler in the throw, and wide open is Dotson. He can't make the catch. No, it is not Dotson. Juris McPhail in for the fullback down the sidelines, and that was close to a touchdown.
Well, it was a perfect play call by the Miami Dolphins. There's a blitz coming. McPhail's going to go down the sideline. Man coverage. Marino knows it's coming. They couldn't pick it up. Throws the ball just not quite soft enough to make the play.
Marino's still in the game. They're going to go on 4th and 10.
They are indeed. From the 37, they figure too long for the field goal attempt, and if you miss, they're going to get the ball even in better position than this. Why not try for the 1st down on 4th and 10? Over the middle, caught and then dropped, and a flag goes down. And I believe this is going to go against the Packers for an early hit. Fred Barnett was the target of Marino's bullet, and now the penalty.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 28. Automatic. 1st down.
Roderick Mullen, number 28, the quarterback.
You're right, Dick. Roderick Mullen, number 28, against Fred Barnett on the outside. Just gets his hands all over the receiver the whole time. Wayne Simmons, he's just looking to knock people out inside as he's going across there, but definitely impeded the progress of the wide receiver and kept him from catching the ball.
Also held his arms down.
So 1st down on the penalty at the 24. Dolphins lead 3-0. Less than 5 left. There's Abdul-Jabbar. Good hole, and he pounds inside the 20. Brian Williams leads the defensive charge, and we remind you to follow the NFL season online at NBCSports.com. This week we analyze Favre and Marino and compare the two quarterbacks, similar stages in their careers. Also an interview with Kent Graham, who led the Cards to that exciting overtime win over the Cowboys last Sunday. Plus vote in our poll, which asks who is the best young pass rusher in the league. It's all at NBCSports.com. Gain of 6 for Abdul-Jabbar on 1st down. He gets the call again, picking his spots to the 15-yard line, and they react as if there was a fumble.
There was a fumble.
And now they're saying he was down by contact, no fumble. That's what we thought originally, but there was no signal.
That's an instant boo.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
They say he's down by contact.
Well, good fans, you got to boo.
Let's check it out on the replay as Leroy Butler, 36, makes the hit, digging at the ball. Appears to be down before the ball came out.
Well, the thing you look at is take a look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's knees. If his knees are down, he's down.
He is down.
So I don't care where the ball goes. His knees are down. Now the ball comes out. You know, it's a good call.
Paul, it's just a good illustration, though. These defenders nowadays, in every team, they are constantly trying to pull that ball out of the ball runner's hands.
3rd and 1. No, he did not make it. Abdul-Jabbar, that stiff defensive wall. And now another choice for Jimmy Johnson. Does he go for it on 4th and less than a yard?
Well, Dan Marino looked at Jimmy Johnson and said, let's go for it. And Jimmy says, go ahead. Why not? You got it on 4th and 10. Why not 4th and 1?
Well, last week they tried a few 4th down plays against the Tennessee Oilers. They didn't get any of them.
They tried twice 4th and 1, but last year they were one of the best in the league. 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. They made it on more than 56% of their attempts. Not so this year. That's injured Gilbert Brown. Ooh, defensive tackle. We'll be right back. 45-pound defensive tackle Gilbert Brown helped off the field, favoring his right leg. Here's Olindo Mare, a 33-yard attempt on 4th and 1. And it's a fake. John Kidd going open, dives and makes the 1st down. Kidd, who is the emergency quarterback for Jimmy Johnson, played at Northwestern, went there as a quarterback, and he hustles for a 1st down.
It's really a good call. John Kidd is really slow, but it's a good decision on his part. He picks it up, he carries out the fake well, and Troy Drayton is down the field. He could be open, but he makes a wise decision, does the sure thing, and runs the football.
Doug Blevins is the kicking coach for the Dolphins, and he's got his spirit in that move as well. There's one of the great stories in the NFL this year. We'll tell you more about him.
You know why you knew he wasn't going to kick the ball? Because Kidd did not turn the laces forward. He just put the ball down.
Marino back in, first down to Abdul-Jabbar. Can't get outside. What a play by Brian Williams, number 51, the third-year backer from Southern California.
Well, you just get an idea how aggressive and how quick and the Green Bay defense is. Brian Williams, number 59, you can't quite see him there on the outside, just does a good job of getting off the blocks. Number 51 does a good job of just getting the tackle.
Williams, the number 3 pick 2 years ago by the Packers. He was our number 2 tackler a year ago. A loss of 3 on first down. Underneath, and a trap, no catch. Harris, Hawking, Drayton, the tight end.
I'll tell you one thing they are not doing. They're not letting the backs out of the backfield. That time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came out, and he was dropped by Brian Williams right in the backfield.
So Marino smiling at the officials as if to say, hey, give him a chance.
What do you do when you place Gilbert Brown? You put 2 people in?
I think that's allowed. That is it's an asterisk on there, right?
Oh, man.
Darius Holland, well, he's 320. That's almost 2.
Yeah, but he looks thin, though, when you look at Brown, though.
11th play of the drive. 3rd and 13. Good protection, and unable to catch the ball was Jarris McPhail. It was a little short. And Marino again was given plenty of time to find an open man, but McPhail unable to bring in the ball.
You know, Phil, we saw on that last drive with O.J. McDuffie getting held, and every time he goes out, they're grabbing him. I would be in the back judge's face saying, hey, look it. Would you please look at me on third, especially on 3rd down? They're holding me.
Paul, he was having a nice little conversation with him right after that play because the Packers are trying to rush in 3 and they're taking that extra person and putting him on O.J. McDuffie.
31-yard field goal by Mari, and it's good. So Lindo Mari, who kicked at Syracuse, is now 8 for 9, and this is first year in the NFL. And the Dolphins now lead 6-0 with a minute and a half remaining in the opening quarter at Green Bay. Let's go for an update to Greg. Although the lead is only 6-0, they're getting that halftime special ready out in the parking lot.
Yeah, Gum will eat your heart out. You're not getting any of these. Sims and Enberg and I are going down there after the game and have a little steak, a little chicken.
Well, that's one of your old helmets there, huh?
Yeah, they made a barbecue pit out of it.
That's not big enough for your head.
Here's the time of possession. Miami, 11 minutes, 26 seconds, and Green Bay's had the ball just less than 2 minutes. That because of the fumble by Schrader and the fact that on the one possession, Mike Holmgren's team 3 plays and out.
The downside of that whole thing, they've only gotten 6 points out of it, 2 field goals. And, you know, it's, of course, Philadelphia last week only had 1 touchdown against Green Bay and beat them.
And Marino, 5 consecutive incomplete passes, and he starts the game 4 for 13.
But, you know, that's okay, Dick, because when you play this Green Bay defense, you're the opposing quarterback. You got to know going into the game that your numbers are going to be ugly. I don't really care how you play. There's just no way to come out here and hit a high percentage of your passes to get big yards because they're just too good.
Just what do you have on Monday morning, huh?
That's right. Did you win or did you lose? You got it.
Almaty, who grew up in South Florida, very near the Miami training camp, dreamed of kicking for the Dolphins, and now that dream has come true for this number 10. Aaron Hayden and Bill Schrader are deep. High. This will be returnable. Hayden at the 3. Plows out to the 28-yard line. Sean Wooden and others make the tackle, and here comes Brett Favre. The legend of Lambeau. Last 19 games, the Packers 19 wins, and Favre, look at his numbers: 48 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, a rating of 107.
That's nice to play at home, isn't it?
Well, it's nice to play at home. A good crowd. He's got a good team, but really he's responsible for a lot of that.
Down with a fake. Guns the ball to his tight end, Chimura, who's down at the 40-yard line. Zach Thomas is booed as he makes the tackle. Fans feeling that he went down late. Of course, Chimura could have gotten up and run.
Mark Chimura going to go across the field. The play action fake. 54, Zach Thomas slips and falls. Otherwise, he would have had to play covered.
Well, Zach Thomas saw him. He knew it was his man, but when he turned, he fell, and that's just not a busted play. He just slipped.
Hand off to Dorsey Levens, and Levens finds some running room, and down the sidelines, a first down at the Miami 47-yard line. Terrell Buckley made the hit.
Dick, on offense, the Green Bay Packers, they have two starters, as you mentioned at the beginning of the game. This team really has not blocked very well for the run or the pass on the offensive line. But this offense is designed to go against this Miami defense.
Yeah, it's designed to be efficient against the style of defense Miami plays. A lot of zones. Stay off the receivers. Miami, Jimmy Johnson's not going to do what the other teams have done against Green Bay. Won't be a lot of blitzing. He wants his speed to make the plays, which they have on defense.
First down, final seconds, first quarter. Favre in trouble, throws a backhanded pass, complete to Levens for no gain.
Oh,
yes,
a week
ahead.
ago he threw a touchdown to Philadelphia. That's not going to stop him, is he?
Hey, the man's going to have fun and just let it go. And I tell you, this is something else. Brett Favre, it's a screenplay. Miami does a wonderful job of diagnosing it. And then at the last, that is impressive. He flipped that a long way underhand.
Boy, flirting with disaster, but Favre completes the pass, and that completes the opening quarter. 6-0. Miami, you're watching the NFL on NBC. Welcome back to Green Bay's Lambeau Field, the second quarter. Miami leading 6-0. And on the first play from the Dolphin 47, Favre flags down, guns it wide open to the tight end, Chimura. And he has a first down at the 24-yard line. Corey Harris makes the tackle.
You know the one thing about Chimura? When he caught the ball, he was waiting to get hit. I mean, he looked like, where is everybody? But the defender fell down, and Chimura was wide open. Boy, don't give Favre a free one. He saw the flags, and he knew he had a free one. He could throw it anywhere.
In the middle of the line, refuse, first down.
So watch Chimura, though, right after he catches the ball. He's expecting to get hit. Chimura comes off the line of scrimmage, breaks into the middle. Now watch what happens here. He's, boom, down goes the defender, Anthony Harris, and then he thinks, well, where is everybody?
That's pretty smart. He knows his knee's hurting him. He's coming off injury. Don't take an unnecessary hit if you don't have to.
Now Dorsey Levens skipping to the outside. And Levens, who started his collegiate career at Notre Dame and then finished up at Georgia Tech, has some yardage. Here's a week ago at Philadelphia when Favre tried to ad-lib this little underhanded pass, but threw it right to Red Hall of the Eagles, and that set up a very important field goal for Philadelphia on their way to that 10-9 win. But it worked this time.
It worked this time, and Dick, as he flipped that, every single person in this stadium went, oh, no.
Wisconsin, the state.
That's right, because they remember last week.
I don't think you can live in this state if you're not a Packer fan. 7 down and 4. Levens on the play action fake, but he keeps the ball. And good pursuit by that speedy young defense of Miami. Harris and Buckley made the stop shy of the first down. Buckley doing some talking to the former Green Bay Packer #1 pick 5 years ago.
One thing you try to take advantage of against the Miami Dolphins is their speed. Dorsey Levens starts out to the left and comes back right. But look at the speed of this defense and all the players that get to the ball, even on a misdirection play.
Third down 2.
Terrell Buckley, he comes across the line of scrimmage to intimidate the guys that he's playing against, the Green Bay Packers.
Favre gets away from Armstrong and throws to Henderson. What a play by Favre. Most quarterbacks would have been sacked. He gets the first down.
Boy, I'll tell you what, does he make things happen? This guy can ad-lib as well as anybody in the National Football League, and he has more fun out there than everybody else is playing. He sees the man coming across, which is Armstrong. He gets away from him and gets it out to Henderson to the outside. And the worst part about it is Anthony Harris trying to hang on.
Well, Jimmy Johnson, what did he say? The offense doesn't really scare him at Green Bay. It's just Brett Favre hoping he doesn't get hot, trying to contain him, and that's a great example of making something out of completely nothing.
Favre is 5 for 5 in the game. First and goal. He throws. Complete. And down to the 2-yard line goes William Henderson. Thomas and Harris make the tackle.
They have been running this play. The San Francisco 49ers, Mike Holmgren brings it to the fullback. Henderson's over here. They're going to fake the sweep left and watch the fullback come underneath. Here he comes. Fake the sweep left. Fullback goes to the right. Throw it to him. They have been running this for so many years, and nobody has figured out a way to stop it.
You know what? I've been watching the defensive ends of Miami. Both guys on either side, they come up the field, and they're staying with Favre. They're not committed down the line of scrimmage.
Favre again gets away and throws incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Chimura.
Can I tell you, this ball should have been caught. I mean, Favre does a great job and then finds Chimura and hits him in the stomach with the ball.
The lesson here, though, for this Miami defense, quit going for every time he throws one of those fakes like he's going to throw it. They're all jumping. He readjusts. He goes around them.
Now here's Chimura coming off. Watch where he throws the ball. Now he's blocking. He releases. And here the ball hits him right. Look at this. Right in the hands. He drops the ball.
Zach Thomas there to make sure he didn't get a chance on the ricochet. 10th play of the drive as Favre goes for his 150th touchdown pass. 3rd and goal from the 2. The throw is caught for a touchdown. Antonio Freeman. Number 150 for Favre.
Phil, I'm watching Favre I'm talking about, and he still amazes me. How do you stop him? I mean, he throws the perfect passes.
And the extra point try by Ryan Longwell, the rookie from California, gives Green Bay the lead, 7-6. Brett Favre, only Marino has thrown 150 touchdown passes quicker. Lambeau Field, where Brett Favre has thrown his 150th career touchdown pass. He's only 2 away from Bart Starr's all-time Green Bay record. Short kick by Longwell, taken on the run by Irving Spikes. And Spikes is to the 28-yard line. Roderick Mullen made the first hit on the Green Bay special teams. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Well, Brett Favre checked off on the play. It's a blitz by the Miami Dolphins. Antonio Freeman, he sees the defender is on the inside, so he checks off so Antonio can run out in the flat. And, Paul, this looks simple. But I'll tell you, quarterback moving to his right, trying to get rid of the football so fast and making that kind of throw, not many can do it. Perfect throw.
Favre taking his team 72 yards in 10 plays, 2 yards on the touchdown throw. By the way, Darius Holland, number 90, is still in for Gilbert Brown at defensive tackle as Marino looks at first down from the 28. He throws in the flat and gets the completion to Charles Jordan, his 2nd catch of the year, 12 yards and a first down. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Dick. Gilbert Brown is still on the bench. What they've done is they've wrapped up his right knee, which they're calling a sprain right now, and put some ice on it. Doesn't appear to be too serious because they didn't take him back into the locker room for x-rays or anything. Right now, they're just going to test the stability, see if the swelling goes down, and his return is questionable. Dick?
All right, thanks, Jim. There's a key part of that defense for the Packers. Irving Spikes in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. Coming up from the secondary, Eugene Robinson to make the tackle.
Oh, man.
As the Miami defense was coming off the field after the touchdown, the Green Bay scored, look at Jimmy Johnson going, that's my fault. And the reason why, he called a blitz, and it put Anthony Harris, a linebacker, on the wide receiver. He knows he put him in a defense that really gave him no chance to stop the play. Defensive coordinator George Hill. Yeah, that's right, Jimmy. You called it, not me.
He's been an assistant coach in the league for many decades.
That's right, many years.
One of the good ones. 4-yard loss. Spikes on first down. 10 minutes, 40 seconds left. First half, 7-6 Green Bay. Spikes again to the 39 and then rejected by 3 Packers. Flag down.
There's a holding penalty against Miami right in the middle of the line. You know, I just would not want to make a living trying to run the ball inside the tackles on Green Bay. And if you go outside, you've got linebackers that are just sitting out there waiting. This is really, when you talk about Fritz Schirmer's defense, they are so disciplined, Phil. I mean, here is what I have to do, I do it.
Holding on the offense, number 61. 10 yards. It remains second down.
Center Tim Ruddy guilty. And a reminder, tune in on Wednesdays now for Third Rock from the Sun, moving to NBC Wednesday this week with a special 1-hour episode. One more reason that really makes Wednesday must-see TV on NBC.
Yeah, I told you, this is Phil's now his #1 show. He will not miss it. He even had him put it on the plane when he was coming out here.
You're right, I like it.
I know you do.
Second down and 24. Parmalee and Spikes now in the eye behind Dan Marino. Blitz on. Marino to the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Brian Manning. It looked as if Marino thought Manning might streak down the sidelines against that blitz. Again, picked up very well by the blockers in front of Marino.
You're right, Dick. Really getting great protection. Manning, number 83 on the outside against Tyrone Williams, number 37. That's the corner that the Dolphins would like to pick on. But even the blitz, watch this pocket that the Dolphins form. And look outside. Irving Spikes helping out with the rusher. Dan Marino, nobody around him when he throws that football.
Marino 1 for the last 7 and 5 for 15 in the game. Third and a bunch. Down the middle, incomplete. Could have been caught. It was there. Fred Barnett, the receiver at the 45, would have been short of the first down, but would have eaten up some yardage for Miami.
We're seeing a lot of drop balls. I mean, we saw Chimura drop one in Miami. Now, Fred Barnett coming across. He has got Williams beat. This ball hits him right in the stomach again, and they don't hold on to the football. That is not Marino's fault. But again, it wouldn't have been a first down anyway.
Change field position, though. That's why you want to catch those passes. And Miami, something they used to never do. They never drop passes, and this year, the first 2 games, they've dropped quite a few.
Bill Schrader back at the 35. Remember, he fumbled his first punt chance. John Kidd to kick. Ends toward the sideline. Takes a high bounce and a Miami roll to the 27. And with that, a timeout. 9 minutes, 46 seconds remain in the first half. 7-6. Action as Favre dumps it out to the fullback. Henderson who has a first down and more out to the 44-yard line. Derek Rogers makes the tackle, a gain of 17.
Well, Green Bay, that's just one of the ways they can really put the pressure on you. William Henderson just comes down the backfield. Good play action fake by Brett Favre and just runs away from the linebacker. Derek Rogers got caught inside, looking at trying to stop the run, and then you start running so fast to catch up, you have no chance of making the tackle.
Rogers, the 25-year-old rookie from Arizona State, quite a story. Give to Levens. He runs into some beef as Darrell Gardner and Shane Burton made the tackle. Derek Rogers did not play high school football in New Orleans. In fact, he was a star trumpet player in a band, a very good one that used to play halftime with the Saints and Oilers, played in the Mardi Gras. His first serious football was in Okinawa playing flag football when he was finally discharged at March Air Force Base in Southern California. He went to Riverside City College, and there he started to play football, eventually to Arizona State. Levens on the draw to the 48-yard line, where it'll be a third and a long 5 or 6. Baron Tanner, rookie from Oklahoma, made the tackle. Now, Jimmy Johnson always with an eye for a good, fast rookie that plays hard, not necessarily big. Rogers isn't 220 pounds. And Jason Taylor, the defensive end, is playing at about 240. And they are already showing productivity for Johnson, as you can see.
You know what I like is when you ask those guys their weights yesterday, they smiled and reluctantly gave them to you because they're light.
But they'll get bigger, Jimmy said. Third down and 6. Favre guns the ball incomplete, intended for Robert Brooks. Fans and the Packard coaching staff wanted a penalty on Buckley.
Buckley, look at Buckley. He's egging the crowd on. Yeah, go ahead and boo all you want. Here's this throw. I mean, this ball, you were right. Look at this. Is this gunned in here? This is just excellent coverage.
That's right. It was good timing by Buckley, and Buckley had some troubles up here in Green Bay, but the one thing he's done down with the Miami Dolphins since Jimmy Johnson's been there, he has played very well, and he's one of Jimmy's favorites.
Craig Hendrick in to punt with Charles Jordan just outside the Miami 10. Not a good kick, but it'll take a Green Bay bounce, and a very good one. Oh, the Packers fall down, and that'll be a touchback. I had a chance to down it down at the 1-yard line, but Randy Kinder, the rookie from Notre Dame, lost his footing. Timeout, 7:37.
The players, Randy Kinder, slipping on this field today. So if you're slipping, what's the coach tell you? Get some shoes to work, go to the sideline, get cleats that will stick into this grass.
Both sides changing cleats from the 20. Marino trailing 7-6. Another slip, but what a catch by O.J. McDuffie. Down, gets back to his knees and spears it for a gain of 9.
Well, this is a couple times, Dick. You're right. On the outside to the right of the Miami offense, Tyrone Williams against O.J. McDuffie. Boy, his feet just come right out from under him. It looks like the grass is wet the way these guys are slipping.
O.J. McDuffie, look at how he's improved. He's like the stock market. His numbers going up by year. 74 catches last year, 8 of them for touchdown. On 2nd and 1, first down yardage for Abdul-Jabbar to the 31-yard line. Next Saturday, join us at 1:30 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Full-hour preview. Golf's premier international team competition, the Ryder Cup. We'll have an inside look at this year's competition. Tiger Woods and the Americans look to reclaim the cup from the Europeans. All a prelude to NBC's coverage of the Ryder Cup in 2 weeks, September 27th and 28th from beautiful Valderrama, Spain.
Talked to Dan Marino yesterday about the Ryder Cup. He's happy. That's their bye week, so he'll get to sit home and watch all the golf.
A reverse to Jordan, but well read by the Packer defense. Gained short yardage. Brian Williams, the linebacker, stayed at home.
You know, when you look at Green Bay, when you talk about how good their defense is, and you talked about it earlier. Now watch this reverse and watch the bottom of the screen, folks, and watch the number of people that react and how quick they do. They're all moving left because that's where the fake takes them. But look at the 5 guys that come back into this play. And that play picks up 1.5 yards on a reverse. It's incredible.
And it was 1 block away from maybe being a touchdown. That's how subtle and very important. Every block, every defensive player's move is. 2nd down, call it 8. Marino, they pick up the blitz, fires, intercepted almost, and then taken back by Fred Barnett. It appeared that Doug Evans had the pick, and as they rolled, the leverage went to the receiver Barnett and a first down at the 45.
Boy, good aggressive play by Fred Barnett. Good throw by Dan Marino. Doug Evans trying to cut in front of the receiver to get the interception, but sticks those hands out there, and that is a super catch.
There was a moment when I think 4 hands were on the ball.
Green Bay was blitzing on the play. Dan gets knocked down by his own lineman.
First down from the 45. Marino dumps it off, complete. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or no, it's Bernie Parmalee in for the catch, and that's going to be close to another first down at the Green Bay 44. It is a first down.
I'll tell you something, folks. You're seeing these numbers from up close on the field, but from our cameras, but from where we are, all these numbers are running together. When you said Parmalee, it could be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but it is Parmalee. But here goes Marino, just getting to the outside. Once he gets the outside, Santana Dotson was after him. He makes a great play.
6th different receiver used by Marino. 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter. 7-6 Green Bay. Abdul-Jabbar, good move. Still on his feet and drives inside the 25 and down at the 23. Abdul-Jabbar, Leroy Butler made the tackle after a 21-yard romp.
Phil, we talked about how great this defense is, but this is a tired defense. They've been out there a long time.
Paul, good point. They've been out there for a couple long drives. The left side, Richmond Webb, Keith Sims made some good blocks, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just seeing a hole and exploding through it.
Abdul-Jabbar, first a Dolphin to rush for over 1,000 yards since Delvin Williams, 1978, when he had that big season as a rookie last year. Gets the call again. to the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 behind some big blockers on that front wall for Miami's offense. Look at that. Webb 320, Sims 318, Ruddy at 300, McIver 318, Brown 330. What did Jimmy say about those big guys in terms of run versus pass protection?
Well, you know, it's always, you get a little education when you talk to Jimmy Johnson, but he was talking about why you have to have big linemen. He says it's the opposite of what we think. You need big guys to pass block because they don't get knocked off their feet by the defensive linemen. He says those smaller offensive linemen can hit the defender on the run and sustain the blocks, where the big linemen have a hard time staying with the defender once they hit them.
2nd and 7. The throw underneath to Barnett, and Barnett's to the 14-yard line, short of the 1st down. Interesting, said those small linemen, you know, the 280-pounders, the little ones, they're the ones that block the run.
I know, they're the good run blockers because they can hit, and they're small enough to have the ability and the feet to stay with the defender once he moves a little. He says this is what it's gotten to in the NFL now. These big guys, they just hit and stand there and kind of turn one way and expect the runner to do something with it. It's one of the reasons why teams are having trouble running the football in the National Football League.
3rd down and a long one. And it's Abdul-Jabbar, 1st down easily to the Spikes, rather. Irving Spikes for the 1st down at the 10-yard line.
You know, that play is a good illustration of what Gilbert Brown does to a defense. Now, you just don't see teams line up and run right inside against the Green Bay Packers because Gilbert Brown and the people inside, Reggie White, you just can't move them. But look at that hole. That's about as big as you've seen all year long against Green Bay's defense.
Just outside the 10, so the Dolphins could pick up a 1st down. This is the 10th play of their drive. 2:15 left in the half. Trailing 7-6. Marino to the end zone. To Barnett, incomplete. Doug Evans. Good coverage by the corner from Louisiana Tech.
You know, the one thing that Gilbert Brown really does when you look at that play right there and you look at the middle linebacker, who is Bernardo Harris. Now, he is used to people coming off of Gilbert Brown, not running straight up the middle. He's used to guys going where the guards are. So when they're blowing these guys off the line of scrimmage, there's a hole in the middle. He's not filling there. He's not used to it.
Well, they can't get around Gilbert. They don't get up there. we saw that a couple times today. You just can't get past him. He's too big and too athletic.
Marino continues to look for his 1st touchdown pass of this season. 2nd and 10. Incomplete, and another receiver goes down. O.J. McDuffie lost his footing, helped a little bit by the Green Bay defender.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. Gabe Wilkins, I think he hit Marino from behind just as he's getting ready to release this ball. Number 98 on the bottom of your screen. Just watch this. He moves behind Webb. Here's Webb. Now he gets around Webb, and just as Marino gets ready to throw, he's got a little piece of it, throws it off. But McDuffie also fell down.
Johnson wanted an interference call against Leroy Butler. It's 3rd and 10. Last play before the 2-minute warning. Juris McPhail into the backfield and then split out. That's McDuffie in motion. Underneath they go to Barnett, and Barnett stopped at the 5, and that'll bring up 4th down and 5, and the field goal unit on, but Mare will have a chance to think about it. That's the 2-minute timeout. 7-6 Green Bay.
We talked about Reggie White having fun today at the beginning of the show. Watch James Brown here. First he grabs him by the face mask. And then McIver comes over and just takes a little chip shot on Reggie. But Reggie has not been effective at all today.
22-yard field goal by Mare. And the young man from Cooper City, Florida, gives the Dolphins a 9-7 lead. 3 Mare field goals, the difference. Cheeseheads here in Wisconsin. There's a double broadhead. That's a look you'd want to take home to mom. Time of possession.
Now that is a big hit. Paul, it must be your brother.
Oh, man.
Schrader takes it at the 1. Good coverage by the Dolphins, and flags fly as well. Dwight Collier, the veteran backer from Carolina, made the tackle along with Irving Spikes. It started to give you the time of possession. Miami 19 minutes 19 seconds. Green Bay 8:51. Only the 4th possession for the Packers coming up.
Personal foul, block below the waist on the receiving team, number 32. 10 yards, first down.
Travis Jervey making the foul.
Travis
Jervey from Citadel, the Citadel.
Travis.
Reminder at halftime, stay tuned for all the scores and highlights, as we'll be sending that back to New York for the Domino's Pizza halftime report with Messrs. Gumbel, Collinsworth, and Waich, and Brett Favre. That feature will continue at halftime. One of the most fascinating athletes around, and he entertained us for almost a full hour. We were all crying. He had us laughing so hard yesterday.
You know what the amazing thing about yesterday? We forgot to ask him about football.
You can't, because he didn't give you a chance to talk. He tells stories, and it's really ridiculous. It was 45 minutes. It was the best comedy routine I've ever seen.
Favre to throw. Got 2 minutes to work with here, and down 9-7. Completes it to Antonio Freeman, who has the touchdown catch in this first half. Jackson makes the tackle. Green Bay has all 3 timeouts. Clock running. 1:35. 2nd and 1. Hands it off inside to Henderson. Henderson breaks a couple of tackles and crawls out to the 25-26-yard line, and Favre will spend one of the timeouts. Well, one of the men that's always proud watching down there in Tuscaloosa is Uncle Rube, and he was the one who invented the sack. He was the first guy that would use the expression sack. We'll be right back.
Well, folks, Doug is the man. Doug took this place global. Doug made commitments around the world.
In his 6th year with the Packers, Super Bowl victory of January. First down, Favre. He guns complete. As Robert Brooks breaking into the clear at the 45-40 and finally out of bounds at the 30-yard line. The 27 they mark it. 47-yard play, Favre to Brooks.
This is everything Jimmy Johnson doesn't want to happen. Watch Corey Harris. It's just a slant pattern. Green Bay puts everybody to the right. He goes too far outside, can't adjust back. That gives up the big play. They were in the perfect defense to prevent the big play, but over pursued by Corey Harris opens up the big hole.
He fell down too.
Another slip.
So 1:15 left in the half. Favre in good position to get more, and he guns another bullet to the 18-yard line.
You know, it's amazing. Miami takes all that time and play after play after play after play to get down and get 3 points. And in one shot, this guy's all the way down the field.
1:09 left in the half. A timeout remains. They trail by 2. 3 field goals, but here comes Favre and the Packers. They're well into field goal range. 1:09 left. It took him only 46 seconds to go 73 yards on this drive. Over the middle. And he hustles to the 8-yard line, and the fans chant "Chew."
Well, they can really take their time, too, because they're just at a minute to go. And he's got 1 timeout, Favre, the Green Bay Packers. And you really don't have to hurry here. They can run all the plays they want. Just take your time.
47 seconds. That ball tipped, it appeared. And incomplete. Might have been 92 Darrell Gardner.
Well, I think it was Jason Taylor.
Watch the previous play where Chimura catches the pass. It's a blitz inside by the Dolphins. The tight end reads it. Brett Favre reads it. Look hot over the middle. Good throw and catch.
Chimura thought to be out 4 to 6 weeks when he injured his knee in the opener against Chicago, and here he is just 2 weeks after that scary injury, back and contributing. 44 seconds left in the half. Levin's in motion. Favre. Incomplete to Derek Mays. Mays, the second-year receiver from Notre Dame. That's a well-thrown ball covered by Terrell Buckley.
Well, you know, Mays, this ball is thrown right over the shoulder, right where it's supposed to be. Buckley just makes a sensational play. Just take a look at this. What he does is he gets his arm inside of Mays' arms, and there's just no way that he can control the ball. That's outstanding defense.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful technique, and we see it every week now in the NFL. These defensive backs sticking their hand up between the 2 arms of the pass receiver.
3rd down and 7. 3rd and goal from the 7. And Favre looking for a touchdown. Into the flat, incomplete. And boy, that was Henderson did a great job of blocking out Corey Harris, or Harris had position where he could have gone the other way with a pick.
Well, and they think that Corey Harris is guilty of pass interference. Now, you can look at it here. Here comes the ball out to Henderson. Now, if he hits him before the ball is there, I'm going to tell you, that is so close. I just think it's a great play by the defense. You can boo all you want, but that would be very hard to call.
He diagnosed the play, he knew the situation, and he tried not to commit the foul. He did a good job.
Ryan Longwell, who missed the short field goal a week ago in Philadelphia in the rain that would have given the Packers the lead. A chance for at halftime, and he drills this one. 26 yards, and the Packers move back in front 10-9. Brett Favre, all he's done is go 12 for 16 and 147 yards in this first half and a touchdown. Very competitive game, however, and for Mike Holmgren, it's been a bit stunning. They beat the Bears on opening night, but the Bears gave them a good game, and then they lose last week. And here, where they seemingly are unbeatable at home in Lambeau, the Dolphins have played them very tough in this first half. A 10-9 game.
Well, and credit the five guys up front for the Miami Dolphins: Webb, Sims, Ruddy, McIver, and Brown. These guys have really done a tremendous job against the defensive line of the Green Bay Packers.
And you know, the other thing, Dick and Paul, I think works in the opposing team's favor. You come in here now, and you know if you don't play your best game and work hard, that you can get embarrassed. And that really works in the favor of opposing teams. You know, being scared and frightened or whatever, it's almost a good thing for you, because you know you got to do your best to hang into the game.
Favre took his team 82 yards in a minute 21 seconds. Big play was the 47-yard pass to Brooks. And they settle for the field goal. Longwell skips one down. It's Kadri Ismail. Whoa, as he was collared at the 21-yard line by Chris Darkins, the running back from Minnesota.
Pretty interesting here. There's only 29 seconds, and you really don't want to make a mistake. Even though the Miami Dolphins have 3 timeouts here, I just think that let's regroup. Let's get back. Take our time. Don't make a mistake down here. Let the Green Bay Packers score another field goal.
Well, let's just see what Jimmy Johnson and Dan Marino have in mind as Marino comes on. 10 for 23. Still looking for that elusive first touchdown of the 97 season.
10 of 23, but people are going to look at it and say, oh, wow, he just had it. But it's been a good. He's played solid, some drop passes, throwing the ball away. Dan's had a good first half.
Well, they're not going to take the knee down out of the shotgun, Marino. Steps up. All kinds of time. Throws to the sidelines, and it is caught at the 37-yard line. Stops the clock with 22 seconds. Kadri Ismail's first catch as a Dolphin.
Well, what a great catch he makes, just to keep his feet in bounds and make the catch. Stops the clock. They don't even have to use one of their 3 timeouts. They still have 22 seconds. Now you think about do you take a knee? Marino doesn't like taking a knee.
Well, you got a guy back there. He's thrown a few passes that knows what's going on. So I don't think he'll take a chance and try to throw this ball into a tight spot.
15 yards on that play. 4 wides. Again. Good protection. He goes deep down the middle. And incomplete. Charles Jordan, like an outfielder, up with a one-handed stab, unable to pull it in. Mike Pryor there covering as an extra defensive back for Green Bay.
You know what happened here? The defensive backs of the Green Bay Packers, when they turned around and looked back in the sun, they all lost the ball. Take a look at it. You see, Evans, he loses the ball. When he loses the ball, they almost make the catch. It was almost a great catch. Watch these guys. They can't see into the sun.
And that would have put the Dolphins in field goal range. 16 seconds left in the half. McDuffie, Jordan, and Brian Manning to the left. Barnett to the right. Three-man rush. Underneath. And it's Jarris McPhail dragged down, short yardage by Wayne Simmons with 9 seconds, and Miami uses a timeout. So now for Jimmy Johnson's club, a chance for one long throw, perhaps a completion, quick timeout, and a long field goal attempt. Reminder, next Sunday, exciting NFL action continues. A doubleheader here on NBC begins at 12 noon Eastern with the NFL on NBC. Game 1, most of you will see the Raiders and the Jets. Others, Kansas action on NBC next Sunday beginning at 12 noon Eastern. Miami Dolphins very much in this game, trailing 10-9. 9 seconds left in the half against the Super Bowl champions on the Packers home field. 27th pass of the first half. We assume Marino's going to be throwing. We thought we might see an aerial show. Guns the ball and caught by Pryor. Mike Pryor down on the play, intercepts as the first half comes to an end with Green Bay leading 10-9. Pryor's 31st career interception. So Brett Favre and the Super Bowl champion Packers lead the field with a 10-9 lead as Miami scores on 3 Maury field goals. And now from Green Bay, we go to Green Gumbel in New York.
With Chris Collinsworth and Sam Weish. If you were with us on our pregame show, you had a chance to hear from Packers quarterback Brett Favre. Here's a bit more of his conversation with Bob Costas on Favre's love for the game.
2, 1, world champion, Green Bay Packers.
Because every Sunday when I go in and get dressed, I pick up a media guide and look at it. Whose name do you see in it? But Bart Starr and Vince Lombardi. And when I drive home every day, I go down Lombardi Avenue. He's gone, but his legacy will live on forever. We practice in the Don Hudson Center. He played well before any of us were alive. That's pretty neat. You know, all the wins and all that stuff are great, but you want to be remembered, obviously, in a good way when you're done, like those guys are, and that's important to me.
Here's a quote from your book. In my mind, I think I can be the best ever. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I think it's important to set high goals, and I always have.
I really believe that. I've accomplished a lot in a short period of time, but there's still a lot to accomplish. People ask me all the time, you know, what's left? Well, there's a lot left, because I want to be the best quarterback every year, every time I step on the field, every play.
You grew up following the Cowboys. The Cowboys have been a nemesis for the Packers, as everyone knows, for years, often knocking you out of the playoffs. Last year it was set up. Everyone thought it was going to be an NFC championship game between the Cowboys and Packers, but this time on the frozen tundra. Now, even though you won the Super Bowl, and you can't ask for more than that, is there a sense that maybe something isn't accomplished because you haven't whacked the Cowboys yet?
For me, no. For my wife, yes.
So is your wife suiting up on November 23rd against the Cowboys?
She'd love to. She would love to. I said, you know, I told my wife, I said, Deanna, I don't care. We won the Super Bowl. We're watching the Carolina-Dallas game last year, and I'm on the couch. I really don't know who to pull for, but I'm kind of pulling for Carolina. We've gotten our tails kicked by Dallas so much. I've had enough of it, basically. And Carolina, it looks like they're going to win. I'm kind of like that. And she says, no, come on, Dallas. I'm like, the hell are you doing? She goes, I want to beat those guys. I'm like, you don't have to play against them. I have to play against them. I remember as a kid dreaming of playing in the NFL. And you know, what kills me is so many guys today take for granted playing this game and how hard it is. I tell our guys in the huddle all the time, can you believe they pay us to do this? It's amazing. In all sports, we get paid to do what we do. It's really something special.
That's Brett Favre. Incidentally, Bob Costa spends a full half hour with Brett Favre on MSNBC's Internight this coming Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 o'clock on the West Coast. Our NFL and NBC halftime coverage continues.
I'm Anthony Schoenleber, and I give tours here at Lambeau Field.
Here it is, folks. Lambeau Field, also known as the frozen tundra.
There's no word to explain what it's like to walk on the grass or to feel the grass there. You know you're in Packer country right there. You have Brett Favre, who scores touchdowns, and Reggie White, who sacks the quarterback. This is it. This is the frozen tundra. This is where it all happens.
The Green Bay Packers, they have no chance.
Our Coors Light halftime statistic, total yards, just a handful separates the two teams as the score is just a 1-point differential. Schrader staring into the sun as he receives at the goal line and slips down, and another slip. Boy, this new turf is really been demonic for both sides, having trouble maintaining any footing on any quick stops and starts. Well, 10-9. Surprise you the game thus far?
A little surprised, but after talking to Jimmy Johnson yesterday, he kind of warned us this could be the way the game would go. He thought his speed on defense would neutralize their offense, and he thought some of his matchups on offense would stop that Green Bay defense somehow.
One thing I'm surprised about is that the Green Bay Packers still cannot run the football. They're not running it very well.
Well, and the injury to Gilbert Brown will get more of an official word, but it did not look good, that knee injury taken back for x-rays late in the first half, and the giant defensive tackle such a key to the run defense of Green Bay. That's Jeff Thompson, a tight end in motion, and Favre throws underneath and hits the umpire. So the umpire's 2 for 2 today. He made a good defensive play against Miami earlier, and he knocked that one down with his hit by passes.
It always amazes me that they don't get run over more often in this game. They're always dodging players. They step up. They have a great feel of where to be, but can't dodge that football.
Favre over the middle and blocked by Chimura. Jim Gray.
All right, Dick, I talked to both coaches at halftime. First, Jimmy Johnson said we're dominating the game. We need to quit kicking field goals. We need one big play. He did go in halftime saying, hey, I really like our position. I think we're in good shape. Now, as for Mike Holmgren, he told me that Gilbert Brown's right knee is so swollen they can't get a diagnosis. He will not return today, but they don't think that it's ligaments. He said, hey, guys, we're losing the game in every aspect except for on the scoreboard. Says we need to do much, much better here in the second half. Dick?
All right, thank you, Jim. 3rd down and 10 for Favre and the Packers at the 19. 5 in a row misfired by Favre. That's a slump for him. Under some pressure, he tucks it away. And knocked down at the 29, close to a first down. Let's see where they mark it. Jason Taylor, the young defensive end from Akron, finally dragged down Favre, and it all depends on the spot.
Well, they had to get almost to the 29-yard line. And that is not going to be a first down. I think they're going to be short.
But they will measure.
Well, it's a good job by Brett Favre. He feels a little pressure. It's good protection at first. Doesn't see anybody open down the field. Something he really doesn't do very often because he's always looking to throw the ball first. But he thinks he can get the first down. When you're watching it, it looks like he gets it. But as you can see, that knee hits the ground.
It's going to be short. I never miss these. I have never missed one of these yet.
And indeed, it is short by that much.
What's the secret, Paul? Why are you always right? You close one eye?
Oh, yeah. We get one eye.
That's what that'll do it. It's that eye closed and
you got to zero in.
Yeah. That's from those old AFL days. You guys had to play with that one eye sometimes.
Well,
right?
when you played the Raiders, because they had that patch over their eye, you had to only play with one eye.
That's right. That was the rule then.
You know, he buys a lot of stuff we say.
Sherman Lewis, the offensive coordinator. I want to talk about him later. He certainly should be one of the top candidates for head coaching position. Hendrick really drills one. Charles Jordan backpedals to the 18. Oh, boy. And gets to the 21, and that's all. Smothered by a wave of green jerseys. 54 on the punt, 3 on the return. Welcome back to Green Bay, the Packer Hall of Fame. And, of course, many of those stars of yesteryear are here in attendance today. It's the alumni homecoming for Green Bay. And the most famous of all got the biggest hand. We'll share that with you in a moment. Marino starts from his 21, gets to Abdul-Jabbar, and he is hit hard at the 23-yard line. Well, thus far, Reggie White's pass rush has been neutralized by this Miami offensive line.
Well, if you want to have success against the defense, you must stop the best defensive player, James Brown, number 76. He's an awful big offensive lineman. Reggie can't throw him around. Has done a good job of protecting Dan Marino. And if you're not blocking somebody else, one of the other linemen always come over to help out.
Marino, no huddle, and he completes, though, Jay McDuffie. And McDuffie a first down out at the 39-yard line. Eugene Robinson and others with a tackle, 15-yard play. Only 3 tackles for Reggie thus far.
Right, Dick, this is a good technique or a good decision, I think, by the Dolphins to speed it up. The Green Bay defense was a little tired in the first half. Make them move fast. See if you can tire them out.
Goes wide open. No one picks up Charles Jordan. And Jordan is all the way to the 17-yard line. Robinson came over to save a touchdown.
That's what happens when you have this hurry up. Sometimes the defense does not react. They don't think, and they don't communicate as well as they normally would. Ty Williams thinks there's a safety over the top, but Troy Drayton goes up the middle, keeps the safety Eugene Robinson inside. Nobody to cover the receiver.
Big play of 43 yards. And this time Abdul-Jabbar runs right into the blitzing Leroy Butler. But Butler is going to get up slowly.
Well, this is the way they figure they can stop this hurry up, is by blitzing a little bit and not giving Dan Marino all the time. What's happened, I agree totally with Phil. This defense is tired. You know, they had some guys that they could bring in and out. Now their defensive linemen are really short on the defensive line. They're getting people hurt. And one thing that Mike Holmgren said to you yesterday was, we are at the bottom of the barrel. We can't afford to lose anyone else.
So they attend to Leroy Butler, who was a Pro Bowler last year, had a sensational season, 5 interceptions. And he had 6.5 sacks as they used him as a blitzing safety throughout the course of the year. We'll take the timeout early in the third. In Green Bay, and that's Leroy Butler, who really left in a woozy condition. Looked as if he might have been kicked in the head or hit in the head as he made that tackle. Fritz Shermer's defense digs in with another rookie in there, Darren Sharper, 42. At safety replaces Butler. Second and long. Handoff inside. Irving spikes to the 18-yard line. This is the 4th time in the game that Miami has been inside the Green Bay 20. They came up with 3 field goals on their other tries and are now 2 for 12 on the season in terms of touchdowns in the red zone. Jarris McPhail comes into the backfield for Miami on 3rd down and 9.
And one of the things the Green Bay Packers are doing with these 3 wides and 4 wides, as we see now, are 6 defensive backs.
Reggie White digs in. Marino shotgun. Let's throw incomplete to Fred Barnett. Covered by Darren Sharper. Did a good job. The rookie from William and Mary, picked in the 2nd round.
Well, you're bringing in a safety off the bench, Darren Sharper, number 42, going against a wide receiver on your first play down the field. Really good job of being in good position to stop the play.
Marino's thrown 30 passes already in this game, and Mari comes in to try to make it 4 for 4. All short ones, 24, 31, and 22 yards thus far. This one 34 yards. And Mare connects again. He is 10 for 11 in the first 3 games, much to the pleasure of the kicking coach for the Miami Dolphins, Doug Blevins. 12-10 Dolphins. So Mare field goals, and the highlight of this halftime was the Green Bay Hall of Famers and Bart Starr. A long extended ovation from those who'll always remember what he meant to this city and their National Football League success of the 60s. Aaron Hayden breaking some tackles, gets a block, flag down with that block, and so is Hayden at the 26-yard line. Let's go to Jim Gray.
I was just overcome with joy. Had tears in my eyes, obviously. We were so thrilled for them. I think for a generation, a new generation, I should say, to have their champion is what it's all about. And these fellows had worked extremely hard to get there. They had done it incrementally, as you and your viewers are aware, over a period of years. They'd earned the right to be there, and they played magnificently in the game. We were extremely proud of them.
The difficulty of repeating, I know you've spoken to these Packers and to Brett Favre. What have you told them?
Well, I don't know that I needed to say much to them. They're aware of that. They're extremely well coached. Their priorities have always been in order, and those coaches have done a great job of explaining that in detail to them. It is going to be a tough, tough fight.
Bart, are you surprised at the love and adulation that you still have here?
Well, as I indicated to you earlier, I don't know if surprised is a word, Jim, but I'm humbled by it and honored by it because these are the greatest fans in the world right here at Lambeau Field.
Bart, thanks for joining us. Pleasure to see you.
It's always a pleasure to see you. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Back to you, Dick.
Bart Starr, one of the all-time greats. He and Favre maintain contact. They talk on a phone 3-4 times a year. He sent him a big letter, a fight, get up and get him kind of letter. Was atypical of Bart Starr, according to Favre, before that Super Bowl. Well, the holding was on Johnson on the kickoff return that started at the 15, second down and 2. And Levens looking for the first down as close to it as he's tackled by Jason Taylor right at the 25-yard line. Talk about Taylor as they unpile. This young guy from Akron grew up in Pittsburgh as a Steelers fan. And let's take a look at number 99.
Well, he does a good job. He just fights off the block, gets back inside, and he saved the first down.
And he's not a real big guy, but Jimmy Johnson says even though he doesn't weigh a lot, he's still very good against the run. 255 at 6'6". Well, 255 is not the weight.
About 15 pounds more than he actually weighs. Sneak ahead for the first down goes Favre.
I love this high school, you know.
Oh, Paul, you should have seen Paul when we talked to Taylor about his high school education. 10th, 11th, and 12th grade in Pittsburgh. Taylor was homeschooled. He said, how many hours do you have to spend with your mother, who was your teacher? You know, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours and 10. Paul said, boy, did I miss the boat.
I missed it. I mean, look at all the playtime what it had. But the only problem I'd have found is how am I going to lie to her and tell her I didn't have homework? She was giving it to me.
She would have done it, Paul, but she didn't want to take credit for your education. That's what it was.
He's been waiting all day for that.
On first down, Favre. With Taylor pressuring, and Favre digs out of there and throws to Chamorro. Well, check that, Freeman. Antonio Freeman, and he has a first down. And Jimmy Johnson screaming there was a hold.
I'm going to tell you one thing about Favre. When you watch him and you watch the things that he does, he is so aware of where everyone is on the field. The man is very smart, knows the defense. There is holding on the play. Jimmy Johnson was right. But look at Favre. He knows where he is. He's not beyond the line of scrimmage. And he knows where the receiver is.
John Michaels, number 77, the left tackle, keeping Taylor away from the quarterback. First down at the 46 on a 21-yard throw to Freeman. Has 3 catches today, 33 yards. Those 4 drops last week were so critical. 9 yards for Dorsey Levens. The rush last year is the backup for 566 yards and a 4.7 yard average, one of the best in the league.
Good job by the Green Bay offense, the linemen especially, getting on their blocks, and something we talked about earlier, staying with them and making the safety for the Dolphins come up and make the tackle.
Jimmy Johnson brings in some fresh defensive linemen, Anderson, Burton, and Tanner. Second and 1, Favre. Pass to Freeman and a first down inside the Miami 40. Derek Rogers makes the tackle.
So you just mentioned the defensive linemen coming in, Anderson, Burton, and Tanner. That's the luxury that Miami Dolphins have. They can now interchange their defensive linemen where the Green Bay Packers can't.
You know what I liked about that last play? Brett Favre checked off, and if you ever had a chance to watch the Packers practice, when they check off, they have some of the wildest, you know, red scissors, dragon. We got all these names, and you go, what? Does this stuff really make sense? But they get it. They make it work.
Delayed 11s, dropped in the backfield for a loss. It was Tim Bowens, a 315-pound defensive tackle from Mississippi, who got there first.
Zach Thomas, number 54, the defensive lineman for the Dolphins. Their job is to keep everybody off of him, but Jeff Dallenbach and John Michaels, they double team the little guy. Wow, that's what you call a pancake.
Well, and they double team, yeah, but what happens when they do that, then Gardner is the guy that makes the play. So, I mean, that doesn't defeat the purpose.
2-yard loss on first down. Pump fake, throw underneath. That'll be close to a first down at the 27 as Thomas and Harris, 2 linebackers, make the stop.
Well, what a beautiful read by Favre. I mean, he read the double coverage on the outside with Corey Harris on Brooks, and then comes back to the inside.
Well, what they do from the left, the back goes out and then comes in. All Green Bay is doing, they're taking advantage of the speed of Miami's defense. They made them think that you're going outside. They stopped. Calvin Jackson's covering him, slips and falls, but really the route's what set it up. Go outside, come back in. Defense can't change direction fast enough.
especially on this field.
First down, backfield empty. Far. Incomplete. Intended for Derek Mays.
I'll tell you one thing, Dick. No one had a chance to catch that ball.
Calvin Jackson on the coverage, and he really rifled that one. And Favre hit as he threw the ball.
Well, Baron Tanner, number 72 for the Dolphins. He's on the inside coming from your left. Just keeps pushing the pocket. Gets Brett Favre low, brings him down.
Another one of those mid-range draft picks by Jimmy Johnson. He found him in the 5th round from Oklahoma.
And he's a big guy. He's got a good motor, Jimmy Johnson says. He hustles, and he does rotate these defensive linemen in the game.
Second down over the middle. Caught at the 19-yard line, but Bill Schrader's first reception of the year and first of the NFL for this young man from Wisconsin La Crosse. The NFL season extends to the World Wide Web on NFL.com, the league's official website. Visit NFL.com for all the score stats, including a complete roundup of this weekend's scores and action. Plus, you get to chat with some of the NFL's biggest stars, all on NFL.com. 3rd down and 3. On the roll far to Henderson. Slips at the 18-yard line. I believe that's going to be short of the first down. Had he fallen forward, he had the first down, but his feet went out and he landed on the backside. Derek Rogers there to cover for Miami. They may measure.
You know, Favre already looked at Holmgren and said, I want to go for it. Let's go for this thing. And I'll tell you, one of the decisions to be made why you would go for it. You know, Miami's defense is playing pretty well, but why you would go for it is to try to keep that defense off the field as long as you possibly can and keep this ball and score a touchdown, obviously. But the thing about it is to keep that defense healthy.
They're going to go for it.
Favre, let's go. What are you waiting on? Let's go.
The width of that yard marker. Mike Holmgren talking with Sherm Lewis, the offensive coordinator upstairs, as they go through that play chart, pick out something that'll get them a couple inches.
Well, the last time they did it when they were coming in this drive here, it was a quarterback sneak by Favre, and that is by far the safest play. He's only got to just lean the ball.
There's Sherm Lewis, who is an All-America at Michigan State. He's been an assistant coach for 14 years, and 4 teams have won Super Bowls, and they've averaged 11 wins a year with Lewis as the offensive coordinator.
Well, Dick, you talked about it earlier. I think after this year's over, Sherm Lewis, been a lot of people say he deserves a head job in this league. I believe he'll get one this year.
4th and inches. 12th play of the drive.
Quarterback sneak.
And Aaron Taylor, the left guard. A first down.
You know what I like about this quarterback sneak? And a lot of teams, a lot of younger quarterbacks really don't understand it. What Favre does is he waits. Watch what he does. He gets the ball and he takes that step left. He waits for those guys just to clear that little bit he has to, and then goes up in the hole. You can be patient with a quarterback sneak and take your time.
You know, I learned that in my 15th year. Dan Reeves taught me that, really. So take a step back. Well, I don't catch on real fast. But he said take a step back and learn to get separation between yourself and the offensive line. And how they came about, George Halas, Mike Ditka, takes over the Chicago Bear job, misses a quarterback sneak. The next day he has about 15 pages from George Halas how to run the quarterback sneak, and that was one.
Favre caught from behind and wrestled down at the 19-yard line by Derek Rogers. Rogers, this 25-year-old rookie from Arizona State, continues to come up with some big plays defensively. And when you consider how little top-level football he's played, I mean, just the mental aspect that he has to deal with.
It's really just listening to him talk, and you can see just what it is just his speed and his ability. And Jimmy Johnson says you watch him in drills when you and everything, and you just can't. You go, wow, he is faster than the other linebackers. When he gets on the field, what sets him apart is just the plays he makes.
First sack of the day for Miami. It's only the 4th time Favre's been sacked this year. Oh, threw a big hole to the 8-yard line. Boy, that's a West Coast offense play. 2nd and long. Defense looks pass, and you run them.
You know why? Just take a look. Look what's in the middle of the field for Miami. There are no middle linebackers. As soon as Favre reads that, watch these guys. They all just block out. They take the Miami Dolphins out. The trap comes down. You don't even have to trap. And they go right up the middle. Dick, there's no linebacker. There's nobody in the middle.
That was a trap play, and they didn't have anybody to block. So how do you grade it? Good block.
Good block.
Yeah.
3 minutes left in the third period. It's 3rd and 1.5. Barely got on the field, and Dorsey Levens to the 12 and is right at the yardstick. So we may have another measurement.
Tim Bowens was not being, I mean, this guy has missed. Number 95, Tim Bowens is coming on the field late. He was not on the field at the time of the snap, and then almost looked like a blitzer coming in.
Holmgren has sent the field goal unit on. Fans don't like that.
Well, you go on 4th down. Why not?
Watch over in here. You're going to see, here comes Big Tim. He had to run so far, he had no chance of making a play, but he almost goes to the right spot to get the play. But big lineman like that, and he runs 50 yards. He needs a break.
This has been a 9-minute-plus drive by Green Bay, consuming 15 plays. They started, remember, back at their own 15. And is this 1st down or 4th and inches again?
Well, if you know, this is 4th in about a half a yard, but it kind of makes no sense. Why would you go on 4th down 10 yards back and now not go now? I mean, it's not that this guy can't kick field goals. He could from back there.
Well, you're down by 2. You want the lead. You want to get something out of it.
Well, look at Favre coming off. He is not very happy.
So Ryan Longwell, young kicker from California out of Bend, Oregon, will attempt a 24-yard field goal. Craig Hentrick, the punter, to hold to give Green Bay the lead once again. And it's 13-12 Packers. You're watching the NFL on NBC. Here's Brett Favre. They go 9 minutes and 4 seconds, 78 yards to get only 3. Longwell now to kick it off. Irving Spikes and Kadri Ismail deep for Miami. This one is short. Ismail. And he's out to the 33-yard line, tackled by Travis Jervey. 2:17. Jabbar, not much there. No gain. Brian Williams and others make the play. Well, it's hard to believe when you look at Jimmy Johnson and Mike Holmgren, you say Miami Dolphins, Green Bay Packers have played 7 quarters, and each team with 1 touchdown in those 7 quarters.
It is hard to believe, but the one thing both of these teams have right now, they got some really good defenses, so that bails the offense out.
Reno to the tight end. Troy Drayton incomplete. Just missed connections there. Covered by Williams. Well, the passing offense for the Dolphins the last 5 years, 1st, 2nd, and 4th, that's when Shula was still the head coach. And then Jimmy Johnson to 11th last year and 18th this year. He said right from the get-go he was going to run the football. That was no surprise.
And when you say that, that cuts the number of plays down per game. They're going to take those runs. That's always going to hurt your passing yardage.
Reno's numbers just shy of 200 today. He needs 11 for a 1st down, and that ball is not caught. They say it was trapped. Roderick Mullen covering Fred Barnett.
Well, you notice Fred Barnett is not arguing. Now this pass is thrown in there. Again, it would not have been a 1st down. Here's the ball down low. The ball is dropped cleanly.
And Mullen makes a nice play. First time 3 and out for Marino and Miami in the game. So Bill Schrader drifts back as John Kidd about to deliver his 3rd punt of the game. Schrader stands at the Green Bay 26. Snaps to the short man, but the Packers have it stopped and will take over on downs at the 32. The gamble fails miserably for Miami.
I'm going to tell you what. I've punted for 11 years, and I'm going to tell you why this doesn't work. Look, when they try to run this ball, you try to run where they're going to try to block it from, and that's up the middle. If you're going to run somewhere, get yourself to the outside. Look at how they all block down in the middle. Now, when it's all stuffed up, they're there, so they just push people back because they can't. First of all, they keep the offensive linemen from going downfield, and it blocks up the middle.
Bernie Parmalee So Jimmy Johnson is willing to roll the dice. He's run a fake field goal that did work in Green Bay territory, but now he gives up the ball at his own 34 when Parmalee doesn't come close to picking up the first down. Favre goes to work. Looking long. Incomplete. Trying to hit Antonio Freeman in the corner. Calvin Jackson and Corey Harris doubled him, and Harris slow getting up. Harris, a cornerback at Seattle, picked up as an unrestricted free agent. And time called as they attend to him with 1:27 left in the third. Minnesota and his team playing impressively. Buffalo and another field goal game, 10-9 against Kansas City. Giants have taken the lead against the Ravens in the third. Cardinals and Skins at 10. They're already in the fourth period. Oakland now up by 3 in Atlanta. Trying to recover from that heartbreaking loss on Monday night. Lions sizable lead over Chicago. TD Tommy Vardell scores. Seattle and Indianapolis later.
Phil,
the late games.
You know who the leading receiver is on Green Bay today so far? You know who? Henderson.
Henderson. Well,
Henderson's got 5.
Green Bay offense, San Francisco offense, fullback is always a prominent pass receiver.
Bracy Walker replaces Corey Harris at safety. 2nd and 10 at the 34. Levin's in motion. They throw underneath to the tight end, and Chimura is to the 25. That play's been open all day.
Well, when things don't go right for you downfield, Phil, you go back to the guy that you know you can depend on that gets open, and he's a big target.
Yeah, Mark Chimura, this is just experience. You could see Anthony Harris widen out, taking the guy in the flat, and Chimura, he goes down the field, he sees nobody's around me. Stop, turn around, and wait for the ball.
4th catch for the tight end from Boston College, who surprised everyone by saying he's ready to play today despite that knee injury and wearing a big knee brace. Corey Harris has returned at safety. Walker out. Give the Levens. First down and more to the 21-yard line. Buckley ran him out.
Well, this is a situation where you get the defense all jammed inside, waiting for you to run up in the middle, and you just break it outside.
Levens, 230 pounds. Played his high school ball in Syracuse. Jimmy Johnson.
You know what I love talking to Jimmy Johnson? I mean, you ask a question, you get an answer.
But Jimmy, yeah,
yes.
You're right.
I mean, I really enjoy talking to him because, first of all, you learn a few things.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to learn a little bit about football in this league, that's for sure.
Even what to order at his Three Rings restaurant he was on. Final seconds of the third quarter. Could be the last play. Blitz. Favre throws. Caught? Is that caught? If it is, what a catch. Now they say no. A late call comes in. The official on the sideline, Anthony Harris, covering Freeman, who tried to make a circus catch. Incomplete with 6 seconds left.
There's nothing you can do on defense. You've got pressure on the quarterback. Brett Favre throws it sidearm down the field. Almost a great play.
From that angle, it looks as if he might have caught it.
You can see
there.
The ball,
you can see it's down.
Went through. Good job by the side judge seeing that.
Well, also Brett Favre, when he's in the backfield, he saw the defensive left end coming at him, and he knew he was going to take a shot, so he had to get rid of the ball.
18 for 28 is Favre and 206 yards. 2nd and 10. Favre out of trouble. Trying to make something happen. Throws it away. Robert Brooks was the closest Packer, and that's the end of the third quarter as Jason Taylor putting the pressure on Brett Favre. We'll be right back after these messages and a word from your local station. Parmalee trying the fake punt, failed. Green Bay took over at the 34 of the Dolphins. Now it's 3rd and 10 at the 21. Spread formation for Favre, who lofts it high, but too short for Derek Mays. Mays had slipped as well. So 4th down, and Ryan Longwell comes on for another field goal attempt.
Well, you know they're going to take the field goal here, which will put them up 4. But I'll tell you something, Brooks was the intended receiver that time, and he got held in the middle of the field.
This is going to be one of the few challenging field goals. Most of them have been from very short range. This one from 44 or 43 yards, depending on the spot. Check that. I'm sorry, 39 yards. 39 yards. And it is good. The Packers now enjoy their largest lead. It's 16-12. Back to the land of the Packers. Boy, these fans, it is a treat to come here. Even if you're not a big football fan, if there's a game in town, you get a ticket. This is a place that just, it gets your blood boiling, doesn't it?
It'll raise the hair on the back of your neck, that's for sure.
Longwell, who has 3 field goals. Murray, 4. It's Padre Ismail. He's stopped shy of the 25-yard line. You going to try that Brett Favre candy bar? You're not going to try it. You know, they have a Favre candy bar and they got a Reggie White candy bar. Did you read the ingredients, Paul, on that Favre bar?
Yeah, you know, he's a little nutty, but there are no nuts in this bar. It's just chocolate.
He'd be disappointed. I know. The first one to complain. But the nice thing about it is, of course, all of the receipts go to charity. And Favre bar or whatever, White bar.
Are you surprised how close this game is?
I'm a little surprised, but I tell you what I found out today is that Miami's defense is for real. It's good. In Green Bay, no matter how good you are, you just can't overcome all these injuries.
Abdul-Jabbar, the catch, but for no gain and maybe even a loss, as Leroy Butler makes his presence felt, and Marino had to throw with a Packer draped all over him.
Dodson was there, and so was Holland.
Well, good protection at first, so he has plenty of time. There's just nobody open, and they talked about Dan Marino. Jimmy Johnson did. He's got to stay in the pocket to give us a chance to get people open. Dan Marino has done it today. He did it last week. He's played tough. He's played hard, and he's made a few plays to give the Dolphins a chance to score a couple times.
Numbers pretty even between Marino and Favre. A gain of a yard on forward progress. Marino slings that one, intercepted. Doug Evans. Flag is down, and Evans is tackled at the 25. They're saying that Evans' knee went down at the 34. Let's see if the interception counts.
Well, Brian Manning was the guy that the ball was intended to. And there were flags, I mean 3 flags from 3 different officials came out.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 33. Automatic first down.
Watch Doug Evans, number 33 on defense against Brian Manning. He just has his hands on the receiver too long. Down the field, look at that left arm on the receiver. Keeping the receiver from going in front of him to make the catch. Definite pass interference.
Well, he could either had pass interference or holding.
Holding, either one.
13-yard penalty. First down, Miami at the 38.
The fans can't even muster up a good boo over that play because they know it was holding.
Marino back to work. Out of the backfield, complete to Poverty, who goes out of bounds, and another flag. 45-yard line, a gain of about 6.5. Let's see about this call from one of the better young officials.
This one's holding against Green Bay.
Like Charles Jordan downfield was being held. Ty Williams was covering Jordan, and Fritz Shermer doesn't like what he sees.
Well, Dick, we talked about this last week, and you watch film in this league, and if you really pay attention to the games, it's really amazing now. The number and
holding on the defense, number 37. 5 yards, automatic, first down.
Ty Williams.
The number of infractions you see down the field. Number 37, Ty Williams. Watch him down there. Just keeps his hands on the receiver. Then he puts the inside hand to keep the receiver going inside. And, you know, they complain there's always holding on the offensive lineman on just about every pass play. Well, the defensive backs on every team are committing these fouls just about every single pass.
Well, 2 penalties for 18 yards and a Miami first down at the 43, trailing 16-12. Marino going long, and this one almost intercepted by Williams. very close as Charles Jordan suddenly became the defensive back, and the fans want interference on Jordan.
Well, you know, I love a play like this by a receiver. Now, he's going down, and he knows that he really does not have a chance to catch the ball because it's thrown a little bit further than he really wants. And take a look at what happens here. He comes back, and now he's got to play defense, and he does it very well.
And it's good defense by Charles Jordan. The ball hits Ty Williams' hands, then he rips him. That's a good job. He knew he couldn't catch it. Even if you commit the fouls, an offensive receiver still make the play.
And it's rare that they're going to call offensive pass interference on that play.
That's a good point.
On 2nd and 10. Blitz. Screen to Abdul-Jabbar, but not any blocking in front of him as he's tackled at the 45. Simmons and Williams, the outside linebackers, pursuing well.
What a great play by Brian Williams. I mean, number 51, the linebacker. He's out in no man's land with nothing to do. He's getting blocked and still makes the play.
He's had a good game, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
2 minutes gone in the 4th quarter. Miami down by 4. 3rd down and long. Faces a nickel defense. Jarris McPhail comes in. Marino. His numbers have been reduced as the game has gotten longer. The 4th quarter has been by far Marino's poorest quarter this year. Eugene Robinson breaks that one up, and Brian Williams is putting pressure on Marino, and the fans cheer the Packer defense.
Boy, Marino is absolutely livid. He is livid. He's throwing balls, and the guys aren't catching him.
Well, Bill Schrader drifts back, and Kidd will punt for the 3rd time. We said that once before, didn't we? And it's a fake. Aims this one down the middle. Schrader at the 16. Got lots of speed, and up to the 19, and a flag goes down.
Holding against Green Bay.
And Marino, he's still fuming on the sidelines.
You know what he's saying? I know you've been in that situation, Bill. All I can do is throw it. I can't catch it.
No question about the heart of this
During
man.
the return, holding on the receiving team, number 88. 10 yards, 1st down.
Reggie Johnson. It burns deep for Marino. He wants this win today. We'll be right back.
And Marino talking to Fred Barnett, trying to get some things straight.
Favre goes to work. The little screen to Dorsey Levens. Flags it down as Levens gets out to the 27-yard line. Derek Rogers makes the tackle. What do you suppose Marino is saying to Barnett?
Well, I think what he even told us yesterday in the meeting, he'd like to see his wide receivers.
1st down.
Penalties against Robert Brooks for an illegal block downfield.
He would like to see his receivers, Dick. He was saying, set up some of the pass routes. Go down there and make a move. Don't always just try to outrun everybody. And he made the point, running routes is almost a lost art now in the NFL. Everybody thinks it's all speed, just run, run, run. But you know what? These defensive backs, they have world-class speed too. And that's the easiest route for them to cover, just the speed routes.
He said Mark Duper and Clayton could run as fast as anyone, but they didn't run fast all the time. They set up that defensive back with some moves or some off speed. Penalty takes it back inside the 9-yard line. This is the 4th time in 5 possessions Green Bay has started inside their 20. Favre guns it complete for Brooks. What a throw. Right on his fingertips at the 20. Get some of the yardage back. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Calvin Jackson, the tackler.
Calvin Jackson has no chance with this pass play. This is the perfect coverage and a perfect throw.
Well, what they're doing, Green Bay just puts all the receivers to the right, and if you single cover the backside receiver, Robert Brooks, Brett Favre says it doesn't get any easier than this. Let me throw it to the backside receiver.
Brooks got that horrendous knee surgery that many thought he'd never play again. He's got 4 catches today. Backfield empty as Favre throws over the middle, and hit immediately was Levens as Zach Thomas come up to crack him, and we go quickly to New York. 3rd down and 3 for Favre and the Packers. Thomas in the tight end in motion. Favre guns it to Chamorro, and that should be good enough for the 1st down, covered by Calvin Jackson. Well, in our long visit nicer than the delightful one with this Brett Favre. They call him country, and he's that in every way. He's telling stories about his father. His dad is a high school football coach down in Kill, Mississippi. And Irv, he even calls Dad Hammerhead.
Hammerhead, yeah. That's good.
He says he had the brush haircut tough. He said, I got spanked every day and I deserved another. Levens outside. Good play. And steps out of bounds across the 30, and the flags fly. Late hit on Daryl Gardner and Zach Thomas.
You know, Dick, you got to tell him a story about old Irv on the roof.
Personal foul, number 92 on the defense. Unnecessary roughness, 15 yards, automatic.
See,
First down.
These are dumb penalties, Phil. They're dumb. The guy's out of bounds. You don't need to hit him.
Yeah, it is, Paul, and it's out of bounds. It's a good call by the referees, but the guys are hustling. As long as you just don't make a habit of being stupid, the coach has to live with that.
It's okay to be stupid now and then if you're hustling.
Well, you have to. That's right. At least hustle and be stupid.
I like that. 46-yard line, they mark it off. Favre, he said that he had 3 brothers, and he said they were so poor they had a real tiny dining room table. He said it was so small we didn't even have room for forks. You carry those in your lap. Favre delivers incomplete. Little high to Antonio Freeman. Calvin Jackson came up to make the play.
What was the story about his dad? One time they're eating dinner.
The roof was leaking.
The roof is leaking, so he goes up on top of the roof.
Dad climbs up on the roof.
Yeah, to fix it.
And you had to have Favre sound effects. All of a sudden, as his dad fell down the shingles of the roof, and you bang, Dad landed on his head, broke his arm, and opened a big gash, and his dad just kind of shook it off, said, don't be tending to me. I don't need to go.
Yeah, I'm all right. Leave me alone. Goes back in, sits down. He goes, I think I might have to go to the doctor.
Favre getting some of that toughness from his dad, delivers to Henderson. Not enough for the first down at the Miami 47. Thomas and Buckley collaborate on the tackle. It'd be about 3rd and 4.
The blitz comes from the outside, and Brett Favre just does a good job. Good job of stepping up. The Green Bay Adam Timmering cannot get up and pick up the blitzer. Just a good job of buying an extra second and finding the short receiver.
I mean, his release is just unbelievable. I mean, to get it. I mean, he's always off balance, going someplace different, and throwing the ball in the right place.
3rd down 4. Packers lead 16-12. Favre throws wide open. Antonio Freeman. First down at the 35.
Well, the reason that this becomes open, and I'll tell you, it's so simple. When Favre gets to the outside, Phil, now you're really caught in no man's land. Do you go chase Favre, or do you go after the receiver? Here it comes.
Here's what they ran it earlier. The receiver breaks out. Robert Brooks, he's not open, so he goes to number 2. Antonio Freeman on the inside. That's just knowing the offense, being patient, and just making a right read for the quarterback.
4-point lead Green Bay. 8:22 left in the 4th. Levens. Now really pushing that Miami line back. It's good for another 10 yards. Roger makes the tackle. First down.
And the biggest hand they're getting from the defense. The defense is staying on the bench, getting some rest. And that time, Levens, I mean, I really like what he did. Watch him step over. It looks like the first quarter for him, not the 4th. Look at that. He just steps over the offensive lineman and picks up a first down.
75 yards today for Dorsey Levens on 15 carries. Ball at the 24. Levens again. Breaks a tackle and gains a couple. Sean Wooden, the safety man, had him for a loss in the backfield. Couldn't get him down. Wooden, however, highly praised by Jimmy Johnson yesterday. He said he has been simply our star in the first 2 games.
Yeah, last year, a rookie out of Notre Dame, didn't know what was going on. This year he comes back, hard hitter, diagnoses plays quickly, good on pass coverage, just a good aggressive safety. And that's what Jimmy Johnson wants out of his safeties. Be aggressive, make the big hits, and help stop the running game.
2nd down and 9. Favre now 23 for 36 passing. 1 touchdown. Levens. First down, Green Bay.
Well, that was a huge pull.
Well, what happens if you have a smaller defense, Paul, that relies on speed, what's the blocking of Dylan Bach and the left guard?
Aaron Taylor.
Aaron Taylor, good job opening hole. When you got a small defense that relies on speed, when it stays on the field, it slows down a little. It's easier to make those plays.
Impressive drive by the Packers. 6.5 now left in the game. Levens, the workhorse, 88 yards. He gets a breather. Henderson looked as if he was having trouble taking the handoff. Stopped after a gain of 1.
The thing about this drive is they're doing a lot of it on the ground with what Levens was running. But the other thing is that they can still get a first down inside the 1-yard line.
Just watch Brett Favre, the quarterback. He hands it off. And here's his trademark. Oh, the old little jump pass. And
says I get bored just handing off.
Yeah.
That is really funny.
And every once in a while, a defender will jump. And it happened to him one day in practice. And the guy says to him, one of their linebackers, why are you doing that Harry High School stuff?
He says, I just get bored. I want to do something different.
Favre looking for the end zone, then dumps it off. Henderson, touchdown! The drive of the game, capped by a 10-yard throw. Favre to Henderson. That puts Brett Favre 1 touchdown pass away from Bart Starr's Green Bay club record. Extra point by Longwell. And for the first time, the Packers have some breathing room. They lead it 23-12. 5:33 left in the fourth. Henderson with a touchdown. The 7th catch to lead the Packers today, and a 10-yard touchdown, climaxing a long 83-yard drive in 12 plays. Well, kicks that one out of the end zone, the touchback, and out to the 20.
Well, when you're going to blitz like the Miami Dolphins do, you have to account for all the receivers. William Henderson comes out of the backfield. Miami's blitzing. Nobody accounts for the fullback. And the fullback in the Packers offense is always catching a lot of passes. Got to pay attention to him.
Well, that's the Roger Craig back in San Francisco.
That's exactly what it is.
And now just one behind legendary Bart Starr is the all-time Packer touchdown passer, and there's no question that he'll move on from there. Shotgun Marino down by 11 points to the sidelines and incomplete at the 27-yard line. Roderick Mullen with coverage on Fred Barnett.
Boy, was that great coverage by Mullen. I mean, he made a break back on the ball, and it almost looked like he had a chance to get it. Number 28, look at this move he makes back to the inside. That's just a terrific play.
You know what? That was a terrific throw that should have been caught.
Well, I think it was caught, but he was out of bounds.
Barnett left. Rookie Brian Manning to the right, along with O.J. McDuffie and Charles Jordan. Had gone in to blitz. Marino came back, almost made the tackle of Jarris McPhail, who loses a yard to the 19.
You know, it almost looked like the Green Bay Packers knew the play because nobody on the defensive line actually rushed. They just stood there and waited.
It happened way too quick. The Miami Dolphins throw some screens, not real good at it, and Green Bay, they see those screens every day in practice against their offense.
They're probably the best screening team in football.
They are.
Yeah.
Dan Marino. No Dolphin has ever played in more games. This is his 202nd. Butler again blitzing, and then Marino throws complete and a first down to Brian Manning. Manning's first NFL reception. The 6th round draft pick out of Stanford gets 14 on the play. Marino in those 201 previous games has never gone 3 in a row without a touchdown pass, but he's looking for one in the final 4 minutes. Or he goes 3 straight at the start of this year without a touchdown throw. Here comes Richie. be penalized for throwing it away. Gabe Wilkins and Reggie White collapsing on the quarterback.
Well, we've been waiting all day long for Reggie White to throw James Brown away, and he finally did it. Reggie White just hit him with that right arm and lifted him up. And
intentional grounding on the offense, number 13. 10 yards, loss of down, second down.
Oh, this is what he told us about yesterday, Phil.
Well, you're right, Paul. They call it the club. He learned it from Howie Long in a film session in 1986. Get him going upfield, put that big right arm that weighs about 200 pounds, hit the offensive lineman, moves him out of the way. And also, Dan Marino did get up. It looks like his right ankle or something's bothering. He is limping noticeably.
Yeah, Reggie said the key is to try to get that club move under the armpit. You get it up under there, and then he says you can really bounce him.
Well, he just threw Brown away.
James Brown only weighs 330. Second and 22. Here they come again. Reno down the middle. Incomplete. Should have been caught. Barnett kind of one-handed that one.
Green Bay keeps blitzing. Miami, you have to say they've done an excellent job today of protecting the quarterback because this is a good pass rushing team. But the quarterback knows the blitz is coming, and it makes you a little nervous, and you throw the ball sometimes.
And 22. Here they come again. Reno down the middle. Incomplete. Should have been caught. Barnett kind of one-handed that one.
Green Bay keeps blitzing. Miami, you have to say they've done an excellent job today of protecting the quarterback because this is a good pass rushing team. But the quarterback knows the blitz is coming, and it makes you a little nervous, and you throw the ball sometimes just a hair before you want to, and that was the reason right there. That ball was incomplete.
Reno now 18 for 40, 202 yards. There they are, one pick. And you know he's going to get pressure here on 3rd and 22. Now they only rush 3. Down the middle he goes, almost intercepted. McDuffie was the closest Dolphin, no chance there.
Pryor has 1 pick just before the half and 2 that he dropped. He dropped 1 in the first quarter in the end zone, and he drops this one. He could have had 3 today.
Craig Erickson, backup quarterback, and played for Johnson at Miami University. Schrader drifts back to the 38. And Kidd to punt. Oh, slides that one off the side of his foot. The 39. And they push him well out of bounds. 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. Only 3:49 left as the Packers lead by 11.
Ooh, he hasn't shaved.
But it hurts.
Another foam shaver. Hey, he didn't know about Edge Pro Gel.
New Edge, Reg?
This is New Edge Pro Gel, and it's a moisturizing formula, so it protects better than the foam.
It doesn't hurt.
Well, I'll let you get hurt.
New Edge Pro Gel. Save your skin.
All right, and now he is beautiful, just like me.
Game summary with 3:49 left. Favre's numbers.
Well, I think there's a lot of good things in there for both teams, but the one that really sticks out is these no interceptions by Brett Favre. Miami's had the game kind of go the way they want, but they have not made the Green Bay Packers have a turnover. That's what they needed, I think, to have a chance to win. Make Green Bay turn the ball over.
You know, Miami was looking, in terms of their franchise record, for the Dolphins' 300th win, and if successful today, or when they win 300, they'll be only the second old AFL team to win 300 games. The Raiders did it back in 91. They accomplished it. Just to give you an idea how Oakland has dominated. When they say the winningest team, and they've said that for many years, haven't they?
In the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s.
But that was true. Yeah. Jimmy Johnson winning the first 2 in squeakers. 16-10 over Indy and 16-13 in overtime last week, and played a very solid game today. Levens fumbles the ball, and it's Anderson of Tulsa. And a break for the Dolphins with 2:56 left.
It is, and good job by John Michaels, the left tackle of the Green Bay Packers, staying with the play and tackling the defender once they picked up the fumble, because that could have been a touchdown for Anderson.
All Anderson had to do is roll over and get up, but I mean, it's easy for us to say, but here it is. As Favre never gets the ball to Levens. I mean,
Dorsey Levens reaches for it. Brett Favre is really not in position to give it to him. That's what creates the fumble.
And there's Michaels right there making the play, number 77, getting back. That's the man he blocked.
So Marino and Miami with a chance for a late rally. Down by 11. They have all their timeouts remaining. Plus the 2-minute timeout. He throws. Almost caught by Barnett, but I believe he'd have been out of bounds anyway, as he was well defended by Tyrone Williams.
Well, the one guy they've been worried about through this week is Tyrone Williams, Phil, and he's played very well.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles last week tried to pick on him, had some success, but again, the receiver just takes off, runs down the field. Tyrone Williams has good speed, in good position, runs with him, and has a chance to make the interception.
2:51 left. 12 quarters, no touchdown passes. Hard to believe. But he's got a good chance here. The blitz to McPhail. And he's to the 29-yard line. Jarris McPhail, who played at East Carolina. Brian Williams makes still another tackle. Short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Really, there's no reason to hurry up for the Dolphins. Take your time. Try to get productive plays off, because it's all going to come down to, even if you score, you're going to still have to onside kick and try to recover.
They pick up the blitz. And O.J. McDuffie, now it's a matter of where they spot it. They're going to spot it just shy of the 25, and that will mean it's not a first down. Now, Marino can ask for a measurement which would stop the clock. He does not. And now he'll call time. So he uses a timeout. Could have asked for a measurement where the referee would have given you the timeout.
ER will be broadcast live.
To have a little part in one of the new shows, Built to Last. That'll be on Wednesday nights. Oh, that's going to be a good one, too. So it's 4th down and inches. And they just do get the first down to the 24-yard line. As McPhail up the middle to the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes left. First down Miami at the Green Bay 24 when we return. Miami down by 11. Fill out of over 60,000 at Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers and Miami Dolphins battle to a 10-9 standoff in the first half with the Packers in the lead. Only a big drive came late in this game. 4th quarter, an 83-yard drive by the Packers with Favre hitting William Henderson 10 yards for the payoff touchdown to take a 23-12 lead. But Dorsey Levens' fumble has positioned Marino and Miami. First down now at the 24. 2 minutes to go in the game. 23-12 Green Bay. Marino into the flat, incomplete. Doug Evans shielding Charles Jordan from the ball. And the truth is, and you pointed that out, Phil Simms, that Marino's receivers have not exactly been kind to him today. I mean, they've had to make some tough catches, but very few have delivered.
Well, that's right. Not making some of the catches, but Dick, just not creating any space for the quarterback to throw the ball into. That's the biggest thing. You know, make a move, give a little shake. Deception, that's what this game is all about. Deceive the defender just for a split second. You got an accurate pass it over there. He'll get it to you.
And Marino's had time to throw the football.
Yeah, they've given him the time, but they've taken away McDuffie. They've really jammed him at the line of scrimmage. And a whistle. That usually means full start. Everett McIver, the right guard, may have nudged off his stance.
Before the snap, there was a false start on the offense. Number 66.
McIver.
5 yards. Second down.
All that does is give him more room to work.
There he is, right on your right. Just trying to get ready a second too early, but Paul, you brought it up. O.J. McDuffie, a couple things Green Bay does. First, Gilbert Brown gets hurt, so they stay with the 3-down lineman in most passing situations the whole game. But what it's done is given them an extra defensive back, and they've taken that extra guy, and he's putting all of his attention to O.J. McDuffie. That's the reason why he can't get open today.
Second down, 15. They pick up the blitz. Marino throwing. Complete. And Miami has a touchdown as Charles Jordan dives into the end zone. 29-yard scoring play. And so ends the touchdown drop for Marino and vaults the Dolphins back into the late minutes of this game.
How could over 60,000 people be this quiet? But they're going for two, obviously.
So Dorsey Levin's fumble at the Green Bay 35. And Miami has capitalized on the Marino throw to Charles Jordan. Jordan's first touchdown catch as a Dolphin. He had 7 catches, no scores last year. 4 catches today for 100 yards for Charles Jordan. They go for 2 to make it 23-20. Marino incomplete, intended for Troy Drayton, the tight end, and Marino wants an interference call. Doesn't get it. So it remains 23-18, and now Miami needs an onside kick and a recovery and a touchdown, not a field goal.
Well, it's good pass coverage by the Green Bay Packers defensive backs. Jordan in the slot, Doug Evans on him. You'll see the good coverage down the field. But what creates this whole play, Dan Marino stepping up. The defenders, they don't know this is happening. When you run down 20, 30 yards down the field, they're expecting the ball to be delivered.
Marino's the guy. You're absolutely right. Watch what Marino does. He's going to step up. Here comes the pass rush. And when Marino sees this, they have a blitz on. He just slides to his left right here, stops, throws.
When a quarterback usually makes that type of move in the pocket, buys that extra time, it should be, and most of the time, it's death to the defense. Something bad is going to happen to the defense.
Well, my favorite play in football, the onside kill.
This is where you say, Coach, I suddenly don't feel real good right now.
I have an upset stomach. Can I sit this one out?
Well, an AFC team has not won at Lambeau Field in something like 6 years. I think it was 91.
Oh, this was cute. Everybody's offside. They didn't give the okay to kick.
It was 1990. Kansas City won here 17-3. So 7 years.
Kick it forward. Ready for play.
Murray, he's not into that old TV and the orange gloves and the green sleeves and all. You got to see all those things in place before you can kick.
I heard a whistle from the stands.
He's got a quick kick, the onside kick. Get them when they're not ready.
Look at this lineup for the Dolphins. They got every player but one over on the left side. I wonder which side he's going to kick to. Paul, you help us out on this.
Well, it'll be to Green Bay, where all those little green shirts are. They're going to kick it right over there. Well, I love to see it sometimes just come back this other guy that's the up back with him, kick the ball back this way.
Now they're ready. And leaping in the air and making the catch was Terry Mickens. Mickens, a wide receiver at the 46-yard line of Miami.
Boy, good play by Terry Mickens, number 86. But this is an excellent kick.
Yeah, it is an excellent kick. You know why this is a great play by Mickens? Because he goes up for the ball. He doesn't wait for it to come down. Watch him go up in the air and take the ball here. When he does that, the defense or the kicking team coming down, they have no chance.
He was well shielded. He had a couple of Packers in front of him to kind of eliminate the blow that he was about to take from the onrushing Dolphins. 1:42 left. Miami has only 2 timeouts. Levens trying to steal the ball, but he's to the 45. And let's check on what's happening elsewhere. Greg?
16-16 game. Elvis Gerbach from 1 yard out to Tony Richardson into the end zone for the score. The point after attempt was blocked. The Chiefs with a 22-16 lead on the Bills. Just under 5 minutes to play, Dick.
All right. right, Greg, some unusual scores. 22-16 there, 23-18 here, and we understand that Kansas City game, Tamarick Vanover, a 94-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Well, there's, you talk about Tamarick Vanover. We saw him in the first game. If this guy could ever stay healthy, I mean, he is scary when he touches the ball.
Now the Green Bay Packers have the Dolphins down to 1 timeout with 1:37 to go as they shoot for their 20th consecutive win here at Lambeau. Levens will get out of bounds.
That's the last thing you wanted to do, was go out of bounds. You're in that huddle. 2 things. Don't fumble. Don't go out of bounds.
Because Miami only has 1 timeout left. You would have forced them to take the timeout. Now they got 3rd down and about 2.5. I mean, you put yourself in a bad position. The one thing about this thing when you're looking at it, you cannot blame Marino for this if they lose this football game. I mean, there are some other places on offense you have to look. And that's receivers.
So 3rd down and 2.5. And if the Dolphins can stop Green Bay here or use the timeout, they may get the ball back again yet. Levens. Oh, he gets outside. 1st down and more. Finally wrestled at the 15-yard line, and that should do it. Miami has not used their final timeout yet. Zach Thomas finally made the tackle after a 23-yard run by Levens. A career game for Dorsey Levens, 121 yards.
Well, in this situation, the Dolphins do the right thing. You sell out. You try to stop the inside run. Dorsey Levens, he makes up for running out of bounds. Does a good job. Nothing inside. Breaks it out. Nobody there.
Well, I'm sorry, Dick, but he got a great block on the outside.
So Brett Favre now on the kneel down. A couple of those, and this game is over. There's one with 40 seconds left to go. Well, it's been a very entertaining game. Miami and Marino do use a timeout. Nope, they're still running. They're not even going to spend their final timeout. Jimmy Johnson, he beamed with confidence yesterday. Said, I know my offense hasn't done much, but I got a real good feeling about this defense, and the defense did represent itself very well again, 3 straight games. And Mike Holmgren will be happy to get rid of that sick feeling in the stomach. He said, I hadn't felt that for so long after the loss to Philadelphia. I've forgotten what it feels like on Monday when you don't win. We will return to Lambeau Field. The Packers go 2-1, Miami 2-1. Final 23-18. Straight Dolphin victories. Final Packers 23, Dolphins 18. Now stay tuned. World Beach Volleyball Championships. For Paul McGuire, Phil Simms, Jim Gray, Dick Enberg, so long from Green Bay.